love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop. Just give me up. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop. Just give me up.
What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. Let's get this stream kicked off and underway. What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. We're streaming Rugby 25. New game out, new rugby game. It's all amazing. Maybe, kind of. It's interesting watching that intro video back. I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to redo that intro video. I'm going to have to go and get all new footage from Rugby 25. And we might have slightly longer till I need to fix that, because I genuinely have no idea how to even take footage from Rugby 25 yet and turn that into an intro video. A bunch of people already in the chat, which is really fun to see. Rugby 25 is a hot topic at the minute. N15 in the chat. I have been loving the N15 discourse on Discord at the minute. If anyone is involved with the Discord, it has been very, very fun. N15 is absolutely the guy to be following at the minute. We've also got Medieval Nat in the chat. Grobler, yes, I do remember you from the other stream, mate. We've already got a bunch of people here, which is really fun. We've got a new rugby game. I thought it was going to be exciting. So and also I just realised in that intro video as well, I took all the promotional videos and stuff from Rugby 22, that's how, and I chopped it all up, and then I took my own footage and made that into a video for that intro. That game also had a big push for France versus Australia, which I didn't realise till like just watching that video back now. And Rugby 25, the only two teams that are like incorporated into the game is Australia and France. I want to know what that's about. I assume Nakon, France, I understand that. Australia, you know, Big Ant and their sort of incorporation with Australia, I understand more. But it was also involved for Rugby 22, and I don't think Big Ben had a great deal to do with Australia. I might be completely wrong there. If someone knows, let me know in the chat. Rugby fan says hi. Hello, Rugby fan. I actually saw some stuff. We got a bunch of things that people also did, because I can test it on all my things are working. Rugby guy coming in. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Rugby guy. We got a bunch of subscribers today. People have been enjoying what Rugby 25 content we've had to put out today. I'm looking forward to jumping into it. I've played some more games. I played that first game, put it in a video, and because I want it to be an honest reaction. I want to sit down and play a game for the first time and go, this is my experience playing it for the first time. Some people dislike it. I don't know why that is. I got the same comments on that video as I did for my first ever Rugby 08 video, which is some people say you should like master the game first, then do a video on it. Why? Like, I would find that really boring. I've played 100 games, and now I'll review it. Like, no, here's my initial reaction. Here's how it works. Here's the things that I find that are wrong with it. Here are the things that don't work. And I actually think there's a real good element of feedback for a developer in there to be able to watch that video and say, this is what it is like for a first-time player. Because those guys have been working on it for like 3 years. They could turn up to a game. They already know the controls. They already know what they're doing. They don't actually probably remember what it's like to play it for the first time. So to be able to sit down as a brand new person and say, I don't know what button it is to kick. I don't know how to do a line out. How do the scrums work? It allows a developer to hopefully see, we know what we've done, but actually it doesn't translate to new players. So hopefully that's what comes across the video. Some people dislike it. I don't know why. We always get weird comments where people are like, I don't like this. You should be better at the game first. Like, I try and be quite good at rugby games. Toby says, you're so glad you didn't buy the game before seeing gameplay. I heard a lot of people in the comment section saying they were waiting for my video to come out to make a decision on it. I was kind of surprised that they released the early access at £25, if I'm completely honest. I thought in order to make the best rugby game, what they might do is release the early access for free to get the most people in so that they could get the most feedback and develop the game and then have people pay for the actual game. Now, people have been talking about the price and like, oh man, this early access is not worth £25. I haven't got anything to contradict it nor back it up, but I don't believe like you have to like buy the game on PC if you've bought early access. I think if you get the early access at the end of it, you just get the game. The prices on the online stores and stuff still have this game that they're going to be like £35-40 on release. So the idea that you could like get this game, I was watching Sammy stream earlier and he said the same thing. Like, you could get this game now for £25, go through maybe a bit of a poor development cycle for now, but it'll get better. And then on final release, the game will come out. You'll already have it installed. And you'll have the completed game for like a discount. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing, Will, but I would like maybe it to have been slightly more accessible for people. You're not looking forward, June says, you're not looking forward to actually playing it after seeing my video. Well, we're going to be playing it on stream. We're going to play some games. I've played a few more games. I've got better at it. I have a slightly better understanding of some of the mechanics and stuff. I am already beating the hardest difficulty of AI once you kind of understand what the game wants you to do, which is a positive and a negative, the difficulty spike seems to go for up. Easy and easiest is like really easy. M15, subscribe to the channel. I feel honoured that N15 is here and subscribe to the channel and involved with the stream as well. Oh my god, everyone's coming in. Barack Obama. Well, I mean, we've just got we've got M15s, we've got ex-presidents. What more could you want, guys? Subscribe to the channel. This is the place to be. I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I don't know. This is what I do. If you ever see one of my streams before, you know I'll go off topic. A lot of people have been pretty negative on the game so far. From the other side, I want to get into some stuff before we jump into the game to explain why I don't think it's going to be as bad as people necessarily think after seeing it for the first time. But I can absolutely understand if you just play one game of it like I did for the video. You could have some different videos on it. I watched your first game earlier and couldn't help but notice whenever you pass, there is no flow players almost at a standstill. Yeah, that is still a thing. I haven't been able to make that smoother. You also see these big looping passes where they chuck it really high in the air to get to the next player. Things can be fixed. Things can be fixed. But I understand why a lot of people, if they're like, they pay £25, they don't want to sit there and have janky pass, and I think it's an understandable thing. Cameron says hi, Matthew says hi, Dylan says hi, hello to all of you wonderful guys. When do you think the game will be out on PS5? Asked Daddy. Unfortunately, mate, I think a while. Where the game is now, unless they've got a lot rolled up their sleeves, and I think they might have slightly more hidden behind the scenes than they're letting on. I think you've got a couple months. I think you've got a good few months. It wouldn't surprise me if you're looking, when we get around to the autumn internationals, maybe around that sort of time. You're waiting for on the Xbox. Well, I know a lot of people are waiting for it on console. Be enjoying the idea that by the time it gets onto consoles, hopefully it'll be a pretty solid game. Very glitchy, but will get better. Yeah, hopefully. Is that Ireland aren't in? Yeah, I didn't even realise Wales weren't in until I actually made my second video. I put another video up at like 5 o'clock, just going over the teams that were included. I didn't realise Wales aren't in it, Ireland aren't in it, England aren't in it, New Zealand aren't in it. Something else I want to get into in a second about the teams and stuff. But yeah, a lot of people, I think, a bit sad that at least like the top 10 teams of the world. I'm glad that you have teams like, we got, Croatia and Uruguay and stuff. The only thing I don't quite understand is that if all the players are not real, you could have them all in. You could do. Like, there's no reason to. They've all not got real names. They're all actually the same player model. I'll show that off on the actual game when we get into it. They're actually the same player model for every person's face. Like, just put all the teams in. Why not? Very glitchy. Hello, my friend. Hello, M3. I know Zweta, but wasn't impressed. Yeah, Sam, I think a lot of people were sort of there. I think people were expecting it to be better. I'll dive into this quickly because this is something I kind of want to talk about. A lot of people have got this view that this game is really underwhelming, and I was right there with you. There is a video out, which I kind of want to draw a bit of attention to because I think it is genuinely something useful. Now, conspiracy theorists, maybe you want to go for this. I think the version of the game we are playing in early access is not the most up-to-date version of the game we have. And I think that's why people are very underwhelmed. I think there's more going on. Now, this video came out on their Twitter page. This is the Rugby 25 Twitter page. It also came out on YouTube. I'm not going to play sound because I have no idea if copyright and stuff for what have you. But I want to go through and just point out a couple of things. Because, from playing the game, look at all these things. Different actions with the maul. I haven't seen a lot of these popping up to do with mauling. Mauling is, hard to get it done anyway. They've still got the fake first name and last names there. But there is a couple of things in here that I think are something to take away from this. What have we got in here? There you go. We've got Benetton. We've got Cardiff. Teams are in. We've got face scans for other players already implemented into the game. There's a stadium, a ball. Ross saying some stuff, which... I think there was also a couple of things in there about the rugby community. It was like, if the gameplay's not good, they'll let us know. And I really like that. I really like that's like a nod to yeah, we're going to see that feedback. But I don't know how clearly you guys will see this, especially if you're on phone. I'll try and get it about as clear as I can. This, though, is on one of their screens. This is Australia versus New Zealand. Australia won that 20 points to 14. So New Zealand are already there. They're already in the game. Even if the names and stuff are fake, it's all sorted out. It's all already done. Some stuff about animations and stuff. Something to do with the trophy. We've got a tournament here. And, teams are already in the game. Racing, Bordeaux. We've already got all these teams already in here. Daniel Dunphy is this guy's name. Dan is playing a tournament, having a great time. Got some of the kits and stuff. I don't know what kit that is off the top of my head. I genuinely have no idea. Someone let me know down in the chat. It's like someone was like, we need some cool B-reel. Get on your laptop, get on your phone. Like that's a very like cameraman thing to do. I've done that before when doing like little film projects. So we need B-roll. Just go and do it. But one of the aspects I wanted to like show people was wherever it is, more animations and stuff. Stadiums. There's a lot of people working on this game, which is nice to see. They're talking about gameplay tactics and stuff. But if you want to go watch this video, go onto their Twitter page and have a look. But this is the one that grabbed me the most. This, to me, very much looks like set plays. I can be wrong. I might be wrong, and if I am wrong, we'll know when they just never get implemented into the game. This, to me, looks like a set play. If I zoom in a little bit further on it, you can quite clearly see here, you've got running lines of who's running where, what the action is going to be, run, pass quick to fullback, pass quick to outside centre. Things are already in the works, right? So they've got a lot of stuff ready for this game that just isn't in early access. They've got set plays, they've got a bunch of other teams sorted out, they've already got stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if, and I don't think it's a terrible tactic, the idea that like they've pushed out the game, they've got it into early access, but they've got to give them a version behind. We'll work on this current version, and then when we do the big updates, it'll update to this new version. We'll have set plays in, we'll have all this stuff in, and all the stuff we've worked on, it'll look like a huge update. I don't think that's a terrible business tactic, but unfortunately, you're going to have to sit through the first bit where people are really unhappy with the current standing of the game, especially if people have had to pay for it. But I think that's a genuinely interesting video. If you guys want to go check that out, it's on the Rugby 25 page, because I think it's something worth having a look at to see whether or not all of the negativity is completely valid and what have you. Oh my god, so many conversations going on. Are there any combinations, Anthony? I guess you mean like a set play thing. If they're going to implement that stuff, I'm happy for them to implement that stuff. They do have this thing where you hold down the trigger and choose who you pass to. I like the idea of it. Again, it's one of those things that on paper I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Like you could just choose who you're going to pass to. It doesn't quite work in things. We'll get into it when we start playing some games and stuff. M15, I am beautiful, to be fair. I'm so glad that. So I already saw that M15 was in the Discord as well. People are already jumping on that. I absolutely love it. I did see. I wonder if I can get it. Can I get it on? Where was the? Hang on, let me get it up. This was the one that got me the most. Oh, can I see it now, or is it gone? Hang on. This had me in stitches. This was Lee. Lee got this one up. I love it. Like the time and effort people are putting into this meme now for M15. I love it. But that one specifically, just having that smile, that damn smile. I absolutely love that. I love that people have got involved with it so heavily already. But yeah. Oh man, really, really fun. Should we boot up the game? Should we boot up the game in the background? Now, one thing I have actually been quite enjoying about it is the music. The music for Rugby 25 has actually been quite fun. I've actually been enjoying just having the music on in the background. Do let me know about audio issues, guys, because streaming in this game, the videos actually came out okay. My mic has been very weird for the last, I don't know, month, where in my editing software, it's really loud. On stream or on video, OBS records it as being quite neutral. And I don't really know what levels I'm at. So if I'm screaming over the game, let me know. I can drop myself down. If the game is too loud, I can drop the game down and stuff. I just want to sort of get some general music on while we have some chat. I like whoever was involved with the audio for this game has done a class job, by the way. Like, there's so many different songs that I'm like into, and I'm like, oh man, I could just chill out and listen to a bit of this. This is what we needed. So whoever's been involved with the audio over at Big Ant Studios did an absolutely solid job. So what you're saying is that the game, even in early access, is a letdown. I think a lot of people have had that opinion. It's a hard line to walk. I think had they done this, had they released the game in the exact condition it's in now and done it for free, I think they probably would have had less sort of negative impacts and stuff about it. But it's putting it behind a £25 paywall. I was very lucky that I was able to get this game for free. You know, not because I'm a content creator, not because I'm on YouTube, because I genuinely won one of those competitions to name the team. You know, nobody from Big Ant has reached out to me directly behind the scenes and, oh, we should orchestrate. Nobody's reached out to me. I've had a couple of tweets here and there where, you know, Ross shared one of my videos on a tweet. I thought that was really cool. I'm glad. I've always wanted to be more involved with the rugby game, but we've never really got there. And me and all the rest of the guys that make YouTube videos, we're all on the Discord chatting to each other, hoping we can get more involved. Rugby 25 has kind of unfortunately lent the way of Rugby 22, where I really don't think they utilize content creators enough. But I can imagine sticking this game behind a £25 paywall. I think Crashball TV paid $25 for the game, so I think he was downloading it. I know he literally put a video out a few minutes ago. I haven't watched that one yet. Do you think the Sevens tournament will be in the game? I believe so. I think they're trying to push it. It was the 140 nations that threw me off. I didn't know how they were going to achieve that. I assume that sort of crosses over into like sevens and women's leagues as well. So I assume we're going to have sevens and stuff in. Connor does rugby. How you doing, Connor, man? There's good stuff to see, but right now it looks very rough. I'm not sure it's worth it just yet. I think a lot of people are there. It's all about feedback, right? Constructive feedback. The only thing is that's going to always happen with something like this is people are just going to say, like, this is bad. This is terrible. You suck. It's the internet. That's how it works. None of that helps. None of that makes anything better. You have to actually sit down. I'll do it at some point over this weekend. I'll play another bunch of games and I'll sit down and I'll work out all the things I think they need to work on. And I'll put it on the FAQ page and I'll say, here's 20 things I think you guys should take a look at. And they'll probably take that on board and they'll probably have a look at it. Some things will probably be said by like 20 other people. The rucking and tackling system seems to be a universal thing. It's not great, but like I said, I already think they're a version ahead of this, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're maybe already fixed, but we just haven't got to see that yet. Probably they released the most stable version of the game, says Got by Rugby. Yeah, it's fair, the game has been pretty stable. I've had one crash because I did too many of the pass select things one after another. I think I took it too far. Will there be a career mode or player crate? I believe so. The career mode is something I think they've actually confirmed is going to be in it. Player crate's probably going to be more to do with like the sort of custom things. They're doing like a lot of stuff to do with like Steam Workshop, where people will be able to like download other people's creation stuff. So I'll absolutely be in there. Jackals Wolf, let's go. Yes, mate. Let's get involved. Be careful with the songs. They are copyrighted. I've tried to talk very loud over them as I'm going. Hopefully we don't get taken down for them. But none of the videos got flagged for it, so I assumed it was hopefully okay. But I'm going to talk kind of loudly over it. Should we jump in? Let's jump in. Go on, let's jump in, and we can start having a look at this. What is this? Why is it broken? Where are you? There we go. It would do streaming. It would do streaming. You can turn songs off. We can turn the songs off, but I like it. I like having a bit of tunes in the background. I would hope they're not like properly copywritten anyway. Actually, yeah, I haven't looked to see if they're like. I'll probably insult some people here by going, I don't really know of a lot of the the artists or anything that are in there. I like the music. I've been enjoying the music so far. Let's jump into play now. I might even start a league, one of those competitions and stuff, but we'll jump in because I kind of want to showcase some stuff a little bit. It'll be fun. Let's start out with Scotland, seeing as we've got M15 in the chat. Who should do? Japan 80? That sounds like a fun game, right? Let's have a look into it. Golden Point Day. I haven't really mixed up the stadiums. Let's pick a stadium. That stadium looks a little bit blank. That stadium looks fun. There we go. Let's jump that. We'll jump onto a game, and it's going to be a really weird game now because I'm not going to be fully aware of all the mechanics to like flick back to and from the chat, but I will try my best. I think rucking should be automatic. You tap to add more players, and yeah, the rucking mechanic is not great, just because I don't think anyone understands what it is. I want to show something off actually with the rucking mechanic, because when you're playing in the game, you're only showed two buttons: add a player or press Y. But in the settings bit, there's a third option. You can press X to steal the ball. But it's not on screen to tell you can do that, and it also doesn't seem to work, so I'm not really sure what they want to do with that. The rucking system needs a bit of a full overhaul to me. I quite like the tapping system. I like tapping A, and I still will always say Rugby 2011 for me has had the best rucking system, where you tap A, you're rapidly pressing A as much as you can. If you push it too far, penalty, goes against you. I do like that. Button configuration is something that, man, needs to be looked at in this game, because there's certainly a lot of issues as well with the button configuration, as we nearly managed to get a break already. So as you can see here, we got Y and B. They are our only two options that we can do at the minute. Man, they are not getting it to who I want to get it to. But Y and B are the only two options you can do in a ruck. But if you actually go into the controls and you go over to ruck, like, there is X. X says steal. Now, obviously, I have the ball, so I'm not going to be stealing my own ball. What a pass. We're already in desperate trouble here, boys. I also don't know why my player is just picking up the ball constantly. But there you go. I don't know what that's about. That's something I've never seen before. Actually, it's just the constant picking up of the ball. Are we going to slow it down? Man. Weird pass again. Yeah, passing and rucking is something that just needs... Why are my players just picking up the ball? What's that about? I mean, come on, boys. We just lost 20 meters and we threw it into touch. Is this the UR... Is the URC now in? They won't have the URC in now. Again, I think, given by some of those images that we saw from the game, from the Big Ant video, it wouldn't surprise me if they are already in and we just don't get to see them as of yet. Oh, I also found out there's no offside, so you can actually just stand here. And you can just run in and get a tackle. There is no offside in the game. Again, that is something that you'd think... Fundamentals, even for an early access, right? It's just a rule of rugby. Offside should be in the game, but you can actually just run as far offside as you want to and get involved. We are playing on the hardest difficulty, by the way, as well. This is about as good as it gets. I'm not going to be surprised if I don't win, because the only thing I've noticed from like the hardest difficulty is the ability for the AI to like get around your players is really the only thing I've seen that differently. A lot of the rucking is pretty one-dimensional. It is doing this, and as you can see, like I'm not doing anything crazy, but we are slowly gaining meters back up the field, and all you just got to do is go through. I'm pressing X. I'm trying to steal the ball, and they don't want me to do it. I have given up on the analog stick tackling because it doesn't work. So I've sort of given up on it. Oh, they've gone further out to the wing that time. They tried to show off a little bit now. Japan trying to do stuff again. We sit here. Oh, there we go. He's drafting through the middle there. Can we get involved and steal that one, boys? Nope. You can probably hear my controller absolutely mashing buttons like a madman, trying to get it to do something. Oh, man. But we've managed to go from our own try line. We're closing in on the halfway line. Just purely on defense, because... the AI really doesn't, seem to punish your line enough. Again, hardest difficulty, they seem to break through tackles a bit more. So you might see, as they're making ground, it's not because they're necessarily making ground. It's just they seem to break through the first tackle more often. I still haven't had a turnover. I think one of my guys just got tackled off the ball then, ref. You might want to have a look at that. Man, oh man. Slow going. Oh, there we go. See, they managed to break through that one. And as soon as they break through one, that's where they can definitely make some ground. You better not lose to Eddie Jones. I just saw it in the comment section. Now, this is not the official Japanese team, therefore I don't class it as Eddie Jones. I'll lose to N5 on the Japan team that's going to be able to do so. Again, like with other rugby games we've had where you've had the ability to... Oh, as they squeeze through that one. Oh, see? That was a good little line from them. That's something that I've noticed on the hardest difficulty. They do a lot more snaking, and it does work. It does work. And N15 is always the person who scores. I don't know what it is. N15 is clearly the highest rated player on every team, because every time they score, it is always this one guy on every team. I suppose you just said N15 looking dangerous. Yeah, absolutely on it. You want to see what Doohan looks like? Well, unfortunately, we got to wait a while yet, because Scotland are not actually licensed in this game. Will there be more stadiums at Scrabble? I imagine so. I don't actually think... we'll check it out. I don't think Twickenham is in the game. Even though that was like their like advertised thing. I'll have a look at that for the next game, because I actually want to check that. Oh, it's me. Yes, kick. Again, this feels bizarrely responsive. It's so over responsive. It's so hard to describe until you actually sit down and play it. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that bar before, where the bar turned red to symbolize almost like I was about to get that. Oh, there he goes. Teleporting through my players. Take the ball, boys. They're still making ground here. Have Japan kicked the ball yet? I think they've just kept it in hand. And this is maybe one of the issues. I saw a couple of people... Oh, yeah, there you go. Mention it. Now they kick it. Okay, we've got to make a big break now, boys. That... Someone was saying about... this game, like, not having online for early access. And just in the current state that it's in, I just really don't know how you'd even, like, incorporate online into this, because I don't know how people would like play the game. I don't know why my guy is picking up the ball at the back of every... I'm not doing anything, and they are desperate to pick up the ball at the back of the ruck. Oh man, nearly squeezing through. Okay, well, we'll take that as a little mini victory there to make a few more meters. There's the siren for half time. My guy's picked up the ball again. That seems to be a bit of a recurring animation. Oh, stop dead. Who needs momentum to go forward? Oh, we're going to pick... I actually haven't seen this in any of the games that I've played where for some reason, 100% of the time, my scrum half wants to just pick up the ball and then sort of goes through the ruck and then sort of walks backwards back behind the ruck. I don't know what that's about. Right, let's try one of these plays. Let's go with an X throw for the second here. Right, let's try and make some room down the wing here. Cut back inside. We're up to the halfway line. Can I get a try? Which is something I didn't achieve in my video, which is wild. It's the first ever rugby game I've ever played in a video for like the first time where I was not actually able to score a try. That is such a weird thing where my guy gets stuck behind the ruck every single time. Struggling to go anywhere there. Oh, and we've got this glitch. So this is a glitch in the game that is a game-breaking glitch where if you hold down the pass button when you go into a ruck, sometimes it doesn't pop up with who do you want to pass to, and when it does that, the ball just gets stuck in the ruck and nothing happens. Don't quite understand why that's a thing, but we'll take on a decent scrum here. Let's see if we can get... Oh, no, I was trying to get my number 8 to pick it up, but apparently not. Right, making the charge. Here we go, through the line. Who's with me, boys? Still going, breaks through 1, up to the 22. That's the best ground we've made all game. Here we go. Who's with me? Let's work our way through the phases here. Way too far than what I wanted to pass to, but we'll hit the line! Charging up for the line, gotta go for the corner! And boom! Over for a try. We got one. Well, at least we got something from this game. I also do like that there is music playing. I like that you get... Because if you're in a stadium, they play music when you get a try. There is an animation for diving for a try if you dive before the line, but not if you... like, are already over the try line, which I think is weird. Okay, it was not messing up. I was talking, game. Give me a second to sort this out. The kicking situation is, I think we're all agreed, it's not great. You just hold down Y, and you just score. Like, it's not particular anything, but what else do you expect from N15? He's going to be amazing. What is that Y tackler contest button? I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. I thought that meant jackal, but then there is a separate button for steal, which you think would mean jackal. I have no idea what it's meant to do. All I can think is that it's meant to be that the guy you tackle with gets back to his feet and attempts to compete, and if you don't press Y, you wait for the ruck to be formed, and then you're adding players. But I just don't think the button works. What are the jukes like? Not great. They can be done. I didn't actually show any of them off in the video. We'll do some in the second half here. But it's pretty. They're pretty. You know, they just get stopped instantly as soon as you start doing it. Is there a game replay cam so that you can see better models up close? There absolutely is. Which genuinely, it's probably one of the best positives to be able to like take away, that you can zoom in and out and do a lot of this stuff and run through and. I'm going to make great use of this. You know, that's going to be kind of selfish, but me as wanting to get good thumbnails and stuff and being able to go through and do some replays and some different things and get the best angle I want to try and get some stuff. I think that's a really useful thing for me. I don't know what a lot of other people use it for. I'm wondering if in the final game you'll be able to save your replay or something so that you could create like a little bit of footage and put it up or something. Mouse cursor is on the screen. Oh, it is. Don't know why that is. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Kick to clear. The kick to clear is the kicking. I find a bit weird in this game as well. When you do the dropout here, you've clearly got a white circle where you're hitting it with a white line showing the trajectory, and I don't mind that. I think that's perfectly understandable. So we do that. When you kick anywhere else in the game, it's just the circle, which I think is a bit weird to not be able to trace where your kicking is going. I find that my eyes follow the circle all the way, and I actually stop paying attention to the player. And more often than not, my player gets tackled before I actually make the kick, unless you have, you know, a lot of room. Can we get in there? Nope. Anyone want to get in? Steal that ruck? Nope, they don't. They've gone for a big up and over there. Another break through the tackle. I don't know if I've had a single breakthrough tackles yet, have I? There we go. We'll showcase it now a little bit. So we'll drop it down here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a 50-22 into this corner. Like, look how quickly the people are on you. By the time I got that kick away, they're already up to me. I had so much room to do it. The animation is so slow. I'm not a big fan of the kicking in this game, and I also don't like that the punt and the box kick are the same button, because you're choosing one or the other. In almost every situation, you want one or the other, and for some reason they put it on the same button so that it gets sort of mixed up. You can do a little over-the-top kick like that and try and get it, but anything else than that, you're just booting it. There's no real up and under. I want to do a really high ball, and you just don't really have that functionality in the game. Same as that you can't really drop it back in the pocket for your number 10 to be able to get it, you know, time on the ball to actually clear the ball out. Can we take that, boys? I mean, my God, there's like 6 of you around the ball and none of them. They seem to be able to drop it back in the pocket really well. Let's go for another one here. Go for another 50-22. No. I find it really hard to gauge where I'm kicking it. I know the circle is moving with me, but I really struggle to understand what the game is trying to tell me with that. I think they need a trajectory line to show off so that you don't have to necessarily follow the thing. I've tried to get a little bit better with it. That's okay. But you need to be on screen. You need to be able to have everything on screen to be able to see it. And I don't think the kicking is necessarily the best. I do think that needs to be worked on. Where is the World Cup? Yeah, they haven't got any World Cup in at the minute. There has been talks in the Discord about whether they'll actually get the World Cup in. I would be very surprised if they decided to take the World Cup out since the rebrand. Like, they had the license for it. They did all the work for it. Should we go for a drop goal? Did anyone see my 2-meter drop goal? Wow. Incredible. What was that? Why was that such a poor kick? Did someone get in front of that then? So I imagine the World Cup will be, and it's just not in early access. I would be very surprised if they put that into early access. That will probably come out during the full launch of the game. I guess technically you could make your own World Cup by doing one of the tournaments, right? Ooh, got the big shot in there. Anyone in there? Something else to talk about the commentary. I might actually turn the commentary off. I don't know how annoying it is for you guys to listen to me and the commentary at the same time. I have actually been really liking the commentary. Like, I just kicked it dead, but I wouldn't have kicked it dead if I could know where I'm kicking it. The commentary in the game I actually think has been done quite well. Like, the lines themselves that they're saying, like, they don't feel like someone is in, like, a recording booth saying them. So again, I think maybe props going over to the audio guys or whoever's been involved with telling the guys doing the commentary teams. The words feel right. The only problem is that they don't correspond to what's happening in the game, which just feels weird. Like I've had kicks before where I've like kicked at the posts and it's gone in, and the commentators have said it looked like it was going in from here, but sadly not. It's like, it did go in. What do you mean? Can we make a break? Oh, we're not going to quite get down the line there. Who's with us? My God, everyone's in a ball. Why wouldn't they? Try and hit that line through the middle. Doesn't work.
He's hammered to the ground.
Got room maybe out on the left.
Works it on.
Oh, why would you ever pass to that guy as opposed to the guy on the wing waiting for the ball?
Cuts back inside.
That pass is so dumb. I don't even know how that is in the game. That's such a weird thing that you feel like they need to do. Let me just run offside here. Get a good tackle in. There we go. Put some pressure on them. There's a pass. Wow. Okay. They're stepping up. The AI is getting more difficult. Warner Dearns here is just bouncing through tackles. Teleportation. The AI's had enough. It's like, hang on. This Mad Dragon guy is going to win. Or draw. I class drawing as a win compared to my first game. Your fullback is also never in position. Your fullback is never there. Here goes my number 8. Here goes Matt Ferguson. Playing in that backfield exactly where you want him. Got nowhere to go here. Oh, no, never mind, because my guy's going to pick up the ball instead and run. We don't need to pass the ball from the back of a ruck. Why would we? We keep going that way. No, we're getting shut down there again. Right, now we've got the box kicking. We can also box kick. Box kicking just doesn't seem to go very far to me. The circle stops short and the ball also doesn't really go where the box kick is, which I think is a weird thing. Again, no trajectory line, it's just a circle. I would like there to be a trajectory line. And for some reason I feel like after you kick it as well, your players actually slow down. Like, they don't chase it. They don't feel like they want to catch it. It's the same with the kickoffs. It's really hard to like get the ball back from a kickoff. Your players sort of wait for them to collect the ball first. Oh, as they go out here. Let's see if we can get a turnover there. Can we get a turnover, boys? No. Let me run over here. Pass it to me. Oh no, they were too smart to my moves and they passed it short. I cannot believe offside isn't in the game. It absolutely should be in the game. That is a bit of a minimum. When I try drop kicking, it always crashes the game for some reason. So wow, I haven't had that issue. I had my drop goal didn't go anywhere. Can I just like stand over the ball and cause issues for them? Oh, they're going to kick it back downfield yet again. No one will be in position. This time my number 7 is going to be on the charge rather than my number 8 from the back. So I've got my number 8 and my number 7 in the backfield. Always useful. Imagine if I had a winger or a fullback. Wouldn't that be useful? Okay, let's go wide here. Let's try and put some pressure on. I'm going to try and break through that little gap there. Here we go. Right. Lock and away. Oh, nearly managing to squeeze through. I actually really want to see if I can win this. Oh, awful pass. No momentum to carry that one on. Let's go back this way. Let's go for that wide pass again. That actually seemed to catch them out a little bit. Let me see if I can do that again. It does do it again. Hang on. There might be something in this. There might be something in this as the prop. As Xander Ferguson runs down the wing. Like an absolute monster. Everyone knows. If Xander Ferguson gets out on the wing, not even Will Jordan could chase him down. Why does it say number 15? No, it was number 3. Xander Ferguson also has the best tan he's ever had in his life, apparently, right now. Right, number 15 to seal us out.
Not an easy kick to come.
Slot it through. Effortless. Yeah, kicking needs to be something more difficult in that one as well. He's really happy about that one. So there we go, guys. We won the game on the hardest difficulty. Hooray! Lewis asks there's no England or Italy. No, there's also no Wales, no Ireland, no New Zealand. Yeah, a lot of teams missing, unfortunately. As there are now women's teams in the game, do you think there will be a women's Six Nations or a women's World Cup competition? Depending on what the licenses are, what they've managed to get from the game. I'm not sure whether they'll have maybe enough to do the full World Cup. It wouldn't surprise me if they got the Six Nations in there. I could imagine them having the women's Six Nations in there, maybe. If they're going to have all the main Six Nations teams from the men's anyway, you think they'll be able to get the women's in as well. I imagine it's a bit of a crossover between licenses. I have no idea about how any of that works behind the scenes. I thought the graphics were going to be good in this game. Yeah, the graphics is an interesting call. There's sports games in general I find it hard to like really nail the graphics. I've seen football games that have a much bigger budget than this game, and I thought like the pitch looked awful. The actual photogrammetry players. I tell you what we can do, because I kind of want to interact with chat a little bit. Let me go back over to this. I kind of want to read your guys' like thoughts on this game as well. Let me do this. Put it on hardest, and we'll set the game to play, and we'll let the AI play. I like this. I like that this is in the game. I like that we can just put this down. Hang on. Let's let Ramos do his thing. There we go. Hands-free. Hands-free gaming. And we can just watch. Who needs real rugby anymore when you've got Rugby 25 and the ability to watch the AI play itself on the hardest difficulty? Let's see how they get on, because I want to read some chat and read your guys' opinions on this game and what you think of it so far. But it's something to have on in the background. Actually see how the AI matches up against each other, because if they're just working in the exact same way, you expect them to almost get nowhere, right? But France look to be on a bit of a push so far. I personally love this from a very selfish standpoint, from doing like when we do the games that are happening in real life, and I try and do a gaming version of them. Normally, I always have to play as a team, and I've always found it quite difficult to find the balance between me being able to demolish the AI and make interesting content. So sometimes I sort of have to dumb myself down a bit to make the games a little bit more interesting while I'm doing commentary over the top. The idea that we can just chuck the AI versus AI, I can do commentary over the top and we can play it properly, and it can be a bit of a prediction of what's going to happen in the real game. The rucking looks like Seven's Scrum. Yeah, it does kind of have a bit of feel to that. I really feel like a lot of these animations feel very rugby league-esque. The tackling especially. It is always a 1 or 2 man tackle, and they always tackle and everyone else sort of holds off for a bit, and then they all drop down, and then the guy sort of very promptly puts the ball back. I feel like it's probably taken from a rugby league standing, and just sort of implemented into this game, and they've changed some stuff to make it feel more like Union. It does feel very rugby league though. Which is, a bit of a shame for me. How do you drop the maul? I have no idea how you drop the maul. I don't even think we've had a maul. I don't think I've had a maul yet, other than trying to get one specific from the line. I don't think I've had anyone actually held up for a maul at the minute. Who is Xander Fagerson? That's clearly number 3. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I'm mischaracterizing the numbered players. Xander was just, that was just very slim Xander Fagerson, who apparently has a, top speed of about 18 miles an hour and can outrun a winger. That's a lovely kick. Anyone going to get back for it? Does he dot it down? Here goes Angus Bell on the charge. Who would else be first back to that ball other than a loose head prop? If you play France, Malvaca is number 11. Yes, same with Australia. People have been saying that Alan Alatoa is the winger over there. Don't know what's gone on there. Again, there's no team management in this game. There's no substitutions, which means you're pretty limited to these 15 players. And the idea that it's not even like a full 15. And I have to imagine that's due to like who they had available maybe to do the face scans and what have you. Like, who else would be out on the other wing? Villiers or Bielbiori? Maybe they weren't able to get either of them, and so they were like, we don't have another winger, but we've already done Malvaca, so just chuck him in. maybe they went for that. I'm not really sure why that's the thing. Argentina player, please. Oh, what, you want to do an Argentina? Do an Argentina. I think Argentina, as a licensed team, aren't in the game, but we can certainly play as Argentina as that. What comp in now? Asked Tom. The competition's in is like a created competition. There's no like official competitions actually in the game. If you want like a real deep dive, there is a video up on the channel of everything that goes through all the different sections of the game, all the teams, all the different competitions, how they all work and stuff. But they've sort of done like you create a competition and then you can go through it and add which teams you want or select them at random if there's knockouts. So I actually think the competition system is quite cool. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I just kind of wish the gameplay was a standard higher so that it would feel like, oh, I'm really enjoying it. Where is the career mode? No career yet at some point. Can you play Argentina, please? I want to see their players. Greetings from Buenos Aires. Man, I love the idea that we have Argentina fans. Argentina has always been a team on the channel that never particularly done very well videos-wise in terms of views. But a lot of Argentina people never find my channel. So I'm glad to see that Gusti, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that name right, is here and watching the channel. We're nearing half-time. The toughest AI versus the toughest AI are yet to score anything in this game. Even they are struggling to get scores. Rugby Guy asks, is South Africa licensed? They will be. They currently are not. They do have like the correct kits and stuff, but yeah, they don't have the actual players and stuff. And all their player names are just number 1, number 2, number 3. But they will be licensed. So they, at some point, you will be able to play them, which will be the first, like, rugby game of the, like, Rugby 20, Rugby 22, Rugby 25 series that will actually have a licensed South Africa team, which is, I think, really fun. Oh, yeah, in the beta, but be in the box. There you go, everyone's jumping in there as well. So will we get a discounted full game? Asked Logan. At the minute, the viewpoint seems to be that if you want a discount at the final full price, it's buy the pre-release or the whatever what we call this, early access. I play too many card games that have pre-release because it's £25 now. Our understanding up to now, until we hear other news, is that you buy the early access and it's going to transition into a full game, whereas the full game is priced online at like £35-40. So this is the discounted price. You've just got to be involved with it, going through all the motions of it, you know, slowly getting better. Will we get the 140 nations promised? I absolutely believe so, Nathan. They've got, you know, a bunch of teams I wouldn't be expecting to be in early access. They've already got in. I still don't really know why they're not all in, by the fact that most of the teams aren't like real in terms of their players. Just fit them all in. Rugby Guy's asking for South Africa. We could do an Argentina-South Africa game. Makes everyone happy, right? We'll do Argentina versus South Africa. Tom's eating onion ring crisps. I love onion ring crisps as well. Very fun. Got on Tesco. So Tesco, like, own brand onion ring crisps. Probably terrible for you. Well, they are tasty. Surely they could have changed the names, right? I did mention it in the video I put out at 5 that I don't really know why they don't actually just have a setting in the game to allow you to change the names. Like, even if it's like maybe they've got a slight issue at the minute with like licensing, like maybe the license agreements are in the full release you can use the player names, but so they're like, oh, in early access legally there's some loophole where they're not allowed to. Just add a mechanic in the settings menu, go into the team roster, change player names, let the player do it themselves. I would spend the time, I would spend the half hour fixing most people's names and doing them correctly, but unfortunately not. How did you change the stadium? Asked Sportsgate. So there's no arrows for the state. So when you go on to like play a new game, you go down to where the stadium is. You have to actually press A to get a drop-down list of the stadiums. It's not like a cycle where you go through, whereas everything else is arrows that cycle through it. Very strange. Again, I assume that's something they would fix in feedback. I find it very weird. You have to manually press A and then go and select a stadium rather than sort of skim through them. But you can do it in the before you kick off the game when you're choosing your difficulty and your time of day and what have you. Hope Kenya is one of the 140 nations. I have no idea. I don't know the full list of the world rankings of how far they go down with all the rugby nations. But if, you know, Kenya's in there, then I would imagine, I believe every international team that's actually on like the world rankings board will be in this game by the actual release. So if Kenya are there, I absolutely believe they will be. Thank you for responding. I'm a big fan. Thank you very much, Logan. Thank you for responding, mate. I'm glad some people have enjoyed tuning in. These AI still have not got anywhere. I cannot believe nobody has scored a try as of yet. Which just sort of goes to show like, the fact that in my first video I didn't score a try, I don't think is, like, too unreasonable now. The AI can't even score a try against the AI. Australia have been pushed back for big chunks of this game. France have been pretty on top of it. But Australia have struggled to get out of their own 22. But again, the turnover issue. The turnover issue is that if you have the ball, it's just really hard to ever have a turnover go against you. So you pin someone back here, and you just sort of get stuck here, and you can't really do a lot. Fiji is also not there, says Grobber. Yeah, I'd be interested to actually make a bit of a list of everyone that's not in there. Fiji would be one that I feel like could have been fun to have just had in the I don't play as Fiji. Portugal. I don't love Portugal to be in there. I think Portugal could have been fun. Do you think we'll get icon players like in FIFA, asks Armand? I would like to see that. I don't know how they'll class, you know, if they'll do like retired players or players that no longer play rugby. I came up with my like created team for this game because I assumed it was going to be a really solid career, have all the card packs and stuff again. I was already thinking about who was going to be in my team, and I wanted Zammit on my wing, and he's gone. He's in NFL, but is he like an icon player? He's certainly a retired player. That was a nice 50-22 by France. That was a decent kick. They're doing better than me in terms of the kicking. I don't like that transition either. That weird black box that sort of disappears into a line. I think that needs to be fixed. Can we see France get a try? What a pass from Maxime Lucu. Half the field. Can France break the line? They've gone the wrong way, surely, unless they can get another pass away. Nope, not going anywhere there. Does it have CPU versus CPU? As Lucy, we are playing. We are doing right now CPU versus CPU. We are seeing how they are getting on. Why are you bad at the game? Asked Ivan. I'm not bad at the game. I just beat the game on the hardest difficulty. There's not a lot more I can do than that. I also noticed no scrum caps or down socks. Scrum caps is one I haven't noticed, actually. I'm trying to think of... Oh, in fact, we're playing as the French team. That's me trying to think of the French team. I assume Gregory Aldrit be wearing a scrum cap. Yeah, you're right. Greg's not wearing a scrum cap. Maybe they don't have scrum caps in the game. That's a very interesting point. Good evening, Bears. Bears in the chat. Oh man, Bears, I'm really looking forward to get your views on this game, Bears. Me and Bears were so hyped for this game coming out. We've had so many chats on the sideline, nothing to do with videos. We've had so many talks about this game. Everything we expected. So many positive things. We were trying to be super positive about this game. I'm really looking forward to see what Bears has to think about this game. Do you think Kanan Moody, Villy LaRue will be in the Bulls team? In terms of like club rosters and stuff, I'm not sure he'll be swapping over where. But the thing they've done with a lot of the face scans and stuff, they've said they've had issues with the actual international sides. So they've been getting the face scans from the club level teams. So it would make sense, if anything, the club level teams are actually going to be more precise at the minute than the international teams. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've got club teams actually correct. I know it's early access, but not good for a first release. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been pretty underwhelmed by what was coming out. I was certainly expecting a couple of things to be better. That's an interesting kick from France. 0-0. 80th minute. Someone's going to have to chase this down really hard. Oh, well, saying that, there's a good chase by Greg Aldrit there. Hard work. I'm still trying to work out whether or not the posts below the crossbar actually have collision physics or not. Players can run through them. I'm yet to make the ball bounce into one to test if it does. The posts above the crossbar do have collision. But I haven't been able to test yet. Like that sort of box kick that we had there from the Australian player looked very close to the post. I'm still struggling to work out whether or not they've actually got collision on the bottom of the post. I know this is early access. Can't see myself playing this though. Long live Rugby 08. A lot of people still enjoy Rugby 08. I've been playing Rugby 08 recently on the channel, and I've been enjoying that game. I can see why people have enjoyed it. In terms of an overall game, it's looking great. I've seemed to have found more problems with it than a lot of people have with WA. I still think it's a very good game. I absolutely understand why people like it. I understand why people would probably be playing Rugby 8, over this at its current stage. But I've certainly found some issues with Rugby 8 that nobody seems to talk about. but it's an old game. People have very big nostalgia for that game. Do you think Big Ant will include a community to download teams? I absolutely believe they will, William. I think they've actually been quite vocal about it. That it seems to be a Big Ant thing, which I quite like, to have a big community input and have people being able to create stuff. They're going to have a stadium creator, and I assume it's going to pass over to like a player creator and stuff as well. So yeah, I think there'll be a big community for that as well, especially if, when they have all these sort of in-game mechanics fixed. I can see a lot of people wanting to spend the time to sort stuff out. My goodness, this game is never ending. The AI don't ever want it to be a draw. They're willing to play on. That's a hell of a kick. And now Australia have it. If it gets to oh, what do we do? Is that just a draw? I mean, is that just it? Is that just it? Or do they play on? What happens now? Oh god, they play on. They're still going, guys. Oh, shall I step in? Shall I step in and sort this out for them? Because the AI doesn't seem to be able to score anything against itself. Again, I thought this would be a really cool mechanic. The AI being able to play against the AI, but they're so evenly matched. Nobody's getting anywhere. Nobody's scoring anything. They get into the Australian 22, and then Australia just boot it back up here, and then France move all the way back down into the Australian 22, and they kick it back out. What's going on? That's a hell of a name. I'm going to call you the Universe, because there's a lot of letters going on there. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, mate. How many stadiums are in the game, says Island Fan? In a ballpark, I'd say 6, 7 maybe. Oh, that's a good run. Oh, well, no, it was till he dropped the ball and then picked it back up. a hidden tactic in rugby that if you let go of the ball vertically, it will bounce back up into your hands and then it's not gone forwards. A great tactic by the French back there. Nobody expects that one to come in. Yeah, 6 or 7. Someone did actually ask earlier about how to select a stadium, so I'll actually dive into that a little bit more so people can see, and we'll get the actual number for you guys. Daniel, it's a bit disappointed, honestly, but still very early. It is still very early. I think a lot of people would have liked to see it be slightly more solid. Tackling and rucking is the main thing that I would like to have seen be more solid at this point. Feedback is all we can do and give it to the developers and hopefully turn that into a, they'll get plenty of feedback. They'll get plenty of the same feedback as well, right? I haven't seen a single thing on the Discord where people haven't said the tackling is poor and the rucking makes no sense. So it wouldn't surprise me if Big Ant are fully aware that the tackling and the rucking aren't good. So they're probably already ahead on that one. CJ just said, yeah, the rucking absolutely sucks. Yeah, everyone has said the same thing. So the idea that Big Ant Studio has sat there on release day and they're going, wow, mind blown. Who could have seen this coming? They're fully aware. They're fully aware that the rucking system is not up to a standard, probably. Blake, coming in with a subscription. Thank you very much, Blake. The AI is actually brain dead. It does the same thing. It does. It's not doing anything. They are not getting anywhere. Teleportation. That's what we need. Go on, Ramos. Keep it going. Who's with him, boys? Support him. Is it just me, or has the clock also slowed down? It was a 5-minute half game and the clock went quite quickly. We're only at 85 minutes now. I don't know, is the clock manually slowed down now that we've gone beyond the 80-minute marker? I don't know what's going on there. I had hope, but feels like we won't have anything until EA decides to make another good rugby game. We'll see what they do with the development cycle. I'm very glad that this is classed as the early access. If they'd released this as the full release and said, we will do updates like what happened with Rugby 22, people would be very, very annoyed. I'm very glad they put up the shield of, it's early access. Expect what we can from it. Because Rugby 22 did a similar thing. Rugby 22 got released and there was a lot of issues. And they were like, we're still going to update it later. It's like, well, it should at least be solid on actual release. This is early access, therefore you can get away with it a little bit more. You show this to Nakon. If Nakon ever want to find my 5,000 subscriber channel, I'm sure they probably have better things to do with their time than go and look for me and get my opinion on a rugby game. Please end this game, said Nancy. I want this to go on forever. It will never end. This game will go on forever. Something I actually tried to do in a different game. I actually tried to let the AI score and actually couldn't let them score. I was trying to move my players off the ball. And they just couldn't do it. But this game has gone on forever. Oh, Maxime Lucu there with a big stop. Oh man, it is painful to watch. France are moving backwards now. When do you think is the what? There is not even a single fan without sunglasses. I haven't actually had a look at that. Have you won a turnover in the breakdown yet? You don't really win turnovers. Occasionally, one guy just walks into the middle of the ruck and picks the ball up himself. And it's normally the guy who made the tackle in the first place, which is kind of weird. My God, hang on, right? You know what? Let's jump in. Game. React, please. React to me. Thank you. Hang on. Let's jump in. Who do we want to be? Who's who? No, I want to be France. Right, we're jumping in. Let's be France.
Sends it back inside.
Let's see if we can finish this game. Because I genuinely don't know if the AI is ever going to finish this game. Give me the ball. I do like the curving on the ball physics, like the wind there. Oh, we're actually doing like 10-minute halves. I genuinely thought it would just go on for forever. One more pass? No, of course. Of course you wouldn't give that one more pass. The exact pass we needed to go. Try and run around the outside. Here we go. On the break. Huge run. Up to the 22. Making good ground. Oh, no, apparently... What are you doing? I don't know what this is. I've actually not had this through any of my playtesting. Of the scrum half just picking up the ball and then doing nothing with it. It seems to be a consistent thing now. Which is interesting. Because it seems like a bit of an issue. But we'll go through the motions. We're up to the 22, guys. Slowly. Slowly we're getting there. Oh, I actually think I broke the line there. Let's go again. Come on, boys. Get with him. Look at all these players bunched up together. Doing absolutely nothing for me. Maybe Ramos can do something. I do think Australia are actually probably the hardest team. I've played quite a few games. I've seen other people say as well that Australia are weirdly difficult to play against. Obviously they're one of the two teams in the game. I think I've beaten like most. Oh, we broke the game. We broke the game. Man, oh man. We'll wait for the scrum. Can you play club teams? No, there's no club teams in the game currently. Rugby 22. You're playing Rugby 22 right now, said Lewis. It's probably not a bad move, to be fair, mate. There's it's people of course will be expecting to showcase a bit of this off on YouTube, but it's pretty rough. I can't imagine I'm going to be spending a great. Oh, they've just had enough. They just had enough. After all that, they're just like, oh, I'm kicking off the field. Who cares now? Oh god, we're still going. You play side on, says Valhalla. Yeah, mate. I play every game. I don't know why sports games don't. I hate the behind the camera. Yeah, we had AI versus AI, and they didn't really get anywhere. Run around. Wait for the hole to open up. Oh no, a bit too late. I've kind of got a bit more used to the mechanics of how the players run in this game, and I do kind of like the snaky aspect to how you can run, and it does feel like a little bit more realistic with the way that their like momentum works. I wish that the players that were like following them, sort of stuck with them a little bit. This weird mechanic where you like pick up from the ruck and you sort of get stuck there is very weird to me. I don't know why that would be in. I feel like it really wouldn't take a lot of play testing to be like, there's clearly an issue when trying to pick the ball up from the ruck. In fact, it actually feels like it might be the best way to make ground is to just use your scrum half every time. They seem to falter. Oh, Maxime Lucu! Across. Oh, it is a try. I was going to do not tell me that that's not a try. Do not take that away from me that I actually got there. Passing is so bad, said Coley. Yeah, it's just a momentum thing. It's just a really weird I mean, again, there I put down the ball and he just didn't actually put it down. He got tackled and then he reached over and got it. They are all wearing sunglasses. Who said about the sunglasses thing? I didn't notice that. It's a sunny day. They are all wearing sunglasses. They're all also wearing baseball caps. It's a very, very unified set of people that go to watch this. It looks rougher, Sidon says Valhalla. Do you think so, man? I don't think there's a lot of ways to make it not look super rough. Let me swap back to this camera for a second. Man, in all honesty, when we play like Rugby 22 and we do a stream and I can play like 10 games of Rugby 22, it's so grindy to play Rugby 25. I genuinely kind of want to take breaks from staring at it and just going through the motions. Blood, what do you think Wales versus Australia next Saturday? Who is? I have no idea, mate. They're two completely wild card teams. I need to see the team sheets coming out for that and see what's going on. It'll be a good betting one. I'm quite big into my betting when it comes to the rugby. I tend to do pretty well. That'll be one I'll be looking forward to see what the handicap bet is on that game and see whether I fancy that one. I actually think Wales might do okay. They've got a lot of players back in for it, and I know Australia lost. Nawanga Nitawase went over to Rugby League, right? Who I just think was their best player at that point. So, you had a red card? No. I've not had a card. There's not even offsides in the game, Tom. I doubt we're getting a red card anytime soon. I think we'll get online co-op. There might be online co-op. That could be fun. I mean, there is 2-player per tier. And I like this. I like that they're implementing this. I don't have like a second controller I can plug in. But the way this is laid out to have like 2 people on each side, the idea that you could play with 4 people like locally, I think that's really fun. I would like to do that. And if you were able to, do online and get a group of you playing, I think that'd be good fun. I know, like me and Bears and Sammy and Crashball TV, we'd be up for a 2-on-2. I think it'd be great fun. End this game already, says Scrum. We did it. We got it done. They needed me to step in. Go for a drop goal. So, Carlo, we tried to do a drop goal in the other game, and they kicked it 3 feet. Agree with your point on feeling like a league game. The way everything just stops after the tackle. Yeah, it is very league-esque. Props out sprinting the backs. Yep. Did you see Xander Ferguson's try? It's just on point. Looks like we're going to have a long early access. Hopefully Rugby 26 will have the full game. Yeah, Rugby. I wonder when they're going to release this full game. It's genuinely going to take a little while. Thank you for the subscription, Otto. Thank you for joining the old channel. I genuinely wonder. I can see this being a good few months worth of development going in here. So by the time you get the actual game, I won't be surprised if the actual release of this goes into 25. That's why they changed the name. I mean, something that is interesting to me, because they put out the rebranding thing, and they spoke a lot about Rugby 24, and like, oh, it's coming soon, and news is imminent, and what have you. Like, I don't know a great deal about game development in terms of like the nitty-gritty and stuff, but like the logo is done for Rugby 25. All of the background here is quite clearly the number 25 below my name. It's all sort of built into the game, which makes me think that it's been Rugby 25 for a while. I just can't believe that's like a one-day thing to start fixing all these things and have everything tied in. Rugby 25 early access and having the post created, changing the logo and doing... I can't believe they've done that in like one day. So I believe it must have been Rugby 25 for a while because they're already expecting it to sort of probably go into to 2025. Grover said yes, finally. Yeah, all you need is Mad Dragon to step in and show these AI who's boss apparently. You were quite excited for it, Alexander. Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I really was excited for this game. The launch has been, I think we're all in agreement, it's been pretty poor for any game standard as a launch. It's not been the greatest in terms of just the transparency and seeing the game and people getting excited for it. I feel like from like a marketing aspect, the likes of us guys on YouTube have probably done more to like boost the awareness of this game. The idea that Squidge got to do the face scan with the guys over at Rugby 24. I guess it's still 24 for him, but like 25 now. He got to do that video, and that video blew. Of course it did. It's Squidge Rugby. You can do anything with rugby. That video got like 40,000 views, and so many people in that comment section of that video were like, "This is the first I've heard about this game." And like, you know, me and Bears and Sammy, you know, we've all got into the thousands of views for Guinness, and people are still not aware. People are not looking for rugby gaming content. People are not finding our channels for any particular reason in the world of YouTube. It's all algorithmic. My channel has always struggled with being one that people actually find. It's really hard to find my channel, even in, like today, I was still putting up. In fact, I wonder if it is still a thing. Let me have a look. This was something that did still bemuse me. Let me have a look. Can I get rid of this? Oh, do I have to actually... I might have to exit out of the game for the second. But the fact that Squid was able to you know, showcase the game and show it off to people, I think was a great thing. Because people were made aware of it. But, you know, I don't really think it should be the case where YouTubers are having to be the ones to do it. Let me have a look for, you know, like just to put this in perspective, this is how YouTube has always been for me. Let me get the... How do I go over to this? Not that one. This one. And my display capture. If I have a look now for Rugby 25, I just typed this into YouTube. There's us. There you go. We've got 75 people watching. Hello, everyone. Thank you to everyone who is watching. But like the video we put out today, it's up to 5.4 thousand views. That's awesome. That's very good for my channel to have something that goes over 5,000 views. But like, I jumped on this game early. You know, I filmed the first game. I was on my lunch break. I take a very long lunch break to fit that game in and get up on the channel early. But if you type in Rugby 25 into YouTube now, like, it's all the way down here. It's still the full search. You know, we've got someone doing a trailer is above me. Bears has put out a video. I'll have to check out Bears' video afterwards. Is above me in the search bar. There's me now live. I'm all the way down here. It's always been a thing with my channel that for some reason it's really hard to find my channel as a new person. So even like rugby games. So the fact that Squidge is like announcing this rugby game to more people, I think is a really good thing. Because yeah, advertising not necessarily the best for this game so far. But you know, were people expecting more from it? Probably a little bit more. Play South Africa. Oh yeah, people said about South Africa, Argentina. We'll start that up. I just wanted to chill that off for a second. I'm going to boot up the game back up. Apparently I can't do two things at once, which seems really dumb. I can't load something up over the game, which isn't the case with any other game. Yeah, we'll do South Africa, Argentina. And we'll showcase those teams. We want to show off more number 15s doing great things. Any guesses on Wales overall in terms of what medieval, like in terms of how they'll get on in the actual rugby, or what their rating will be in this game? Will they crack the 80 marker at this point? What I'm beginning to wonder. I did actually notice in the I was going to show off stadiums as well, wasn't I? If I ever forget stuff, guys, just drop it back in the comment section. Oh, gaming. There we go. Thank you. Let's set it up for the thing. Yeah, I noticed that the rankings of the teams is really interesting. France are rated 86, and South Africa are rated 86, and Scotland are rated 86. So those three teams are all on par with each other, which is interesting. Considering, I think, in ranking standpoints, South Africa should probably be well over the 90 marker, right? Let me get over to Argentina. For people wondering about the stadiums, I'll show that off quickly as well for people. So on here you have your menu select. You've got your length, half, difficulty. As you can see, everything has arrows next to it to change it. When you come down to stadium, it doesn't have arrows. You have to manually press A, and then it allows you to go through and select what stadium you want. I don't know why that one is different. I was right with 6. That was a pretty good guess, right? But we'll change up the stadiums again. But that is how you change stadiums. There is also a day-night thing. I watched Sammy play a game in the nighttime. It did not look good. You know what? Let's do it. Let's play it in nighttime. Just to... I can't be bothered to play it on the hardest. Let's drop it down. Let's drop it down to easy. Let's just score some tries. Let's make it look interesting. Because man, finishing a game 7-0 in the 80th minute isn't that much fun. They should put in the create a logo so you can create a team that's not in the game. Yep. Again, another thing that I think might come with a community creation thing. Only problem is first person to add a phallus. Boom. Gone. Take that away from it. When do you think the game will be fully updated? You're looking a long way away, mate. I genuinely, end of the year, maybe 2025. I think we've got a little while to go yet. Will it be the best rugby game? It's an interesting point. Maybe. It genuinely could. Right now, it just isn't. Could it be? Where they do a lot of updates? I think Big Ant Shoes are pretty good at sticking with the game and doing a lot of updates and actually keeping with it. So as long as people give them constructive feedback, things they can actually work on, and they actually adhere to it and make things a lot better, I think it could certainly be a good game. Having all the licenses, all the stadiums, having all the face scans for all the players is really cool. Once they get all the competitions in, once they get all that stuff in, for me it's just about landing the game mechanics to be more solid and a more enjoyable game. Otherwise, to me, having all these licenses in the game doesn't make a whole bit of difference if like people don't enjoy playing the game. Okay, let's see if we can try and squeeze through the gap. I was hoping by putting it on a lower difficulty we could at least have a bit of fun with it. Oh my god, I don't know what this is now. I don't know what I've broken. By oh, give the pass to the person who's there. There's 3 people. Hopefully hackers added, said Tom. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, for everyone who saw my my New Zealand England game that I did on Rugby 08, I was really happy to see that hackers were in that game. I didn't know hackers were in there. Little things like that. Again, animations are something I think they can work on for this game. I've liked the animations, or the little, you know what I'm trying to say, like short, like video bits, the sort of in-between video bits that you get to see. I like that sort of stuff. I think that helps break up a game a little bit. And I think the ones they have got in the game are already fun, seeing some close-ups of some of the players and people, you know, talking to each other and patting each other on the back and stuff. I already think they look good. Certainly think it's something they can look to add more of, so that we can get to see, you know, a bit more fleshed out game like that. But I think that's something that no doubt would come into the game. They would probably spend the time working on that. Yeah, you actually found my channel on my homepage in YouTube today. Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad that people are discovering the channel. It has always been a thing with my channel. I don't know why it's for everything. It's not just rugby gaming. It's the preview videos. It's the review videos. There's a lot of things that go into a YouTube algorithm. For some reason, my channel has always been a nightmare for me putting out a video. And as long as someone puts out a video with the same title, their video has always had a tendency to go above mine. If you go and have a look at my most sort of watch videos to do with rugby, they're normally like review videos of games that not many other people covered. I think like one of my biggest videos on the channel is like South Africa versus Romania, because none of the bigger guys covered it. It was just me. So a lot of people found the channel, and the big sort of England-Wales breakdown video that I did. If you get the video out quickly, my channel seems to do okay. If anyone anywhere else seems to get a video out, people don't typically find my channel, which has just always been the biggest hindrance with YouTube growth. It tends to promote, if a channel is already bigger than yours, it tends to want to promote their video more, which means the bigger channels grow bigger, quicker. Hence why if you ever start a new YouTube account and you just go onto YouTube, or you go in like an incognito window and you go on YouTube, all you see is Mr. Beast and Logan Paul. It is determined to make the bigger guys bigger, not the 5,000 subscriber guys. I ain't waiting a year on console, says Grobler. You might be, mate. I don't know. Oh, can we steal this ball? Oh, what a great interception there. Who is that? Number 15. Who else would it be other than number 15?
He picks up the ball.
Just brilliant work. Right, let's go on the charge here. There's Jesse Creel at number 13. Let's use proper names. Let's try and pretend they're at least kind of in the game. Tries to break away. We're going to have to run around here. Let's see if we can charge up through the middle. Man, they've really sworn my scrum half there. This is not easy. Again, like the difficulty, we've gone from hardest to easy. I'm not noticing a great deal of difference. Like they seem to be acting relatively similar. The only thing is that occasionally you can sort of get round their players a little bit easier. They don't necessarily close down the space as much, but it's not that much different. Oh, we've had the glitch again. This will go to a scrum. We can't pass the ball out the ruck. Very weird. The nighttime looks so good. Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing nighttime. This nighttime looks much better. I saw Sammy playing in nighttime, and the nighttime was literally like a volcano had erupted. It was orange and foggy, and I have no idea why that is. I've got my headphones caught and my controller. Hang on. Well, this is fun. Well, this is all about to go very wrong. The scrumming system again. The scrumming system is weird. If you get one thing wrong, it's just a penalty. Seems a bit dumb. Anthems are a must. Yeah, do they have anthems? They have sort of music going on. They don't have actual anthems in. This is Rugby 25 now. Yep, we've all moved on. We're all there. At this point, EA should just re-release Rugby 08. A lot of people have that opinion, man. A lot of people enjoy Rugby 08. I would like to see the expanse of the Rugby 08 gameplay. or actual like game itself with all the teams and stadiums and what have you, but with the actual mechanics of Rugby 2011. I think it'll be a fun little game. Oh, could we get there, boys? We'll get in there. Still can't get turnover. Still don't know what we're doing there. I'm trying to read comments at the same time. Probably not the smartest move to do. I'm not good enough for this game yet. Conor Murray has to go, says I. I'm coming in with the hot takes there. Oh, that's a bit far. Is it? It better be far. It better be. I don't want to chase that all the way back. We'll have another scrum. Probably give away another penalty. I know this is early access, but they could have done better, I guess. Yeah, it depends what you're looking for in the game. A lot of people are very focused on graphics. A lot of people are very focused on the game mechanics. I'm much more of a game mechanics person, and I would have loved certain game mechanics to be better. I do think they would. I think the scrum system should maybe be looked at as well. I don't really like what it is. Like when you do it, it's like okay, but like now I want to get the ball out. Like how long does that take? And I also think they've clearly designed the game that they want it to be like an end-on camera. They don't really want you to play how I play the game. Oh, we've had the glitch again. Can't pass, so we go for another scrum. Oh, apparently we can pass. Out of nowhere. It even took me by surprise. Apparently, they remembered how to pass very quickly. I have no idea what happened there. Right, get in there, boys. Let's go for another drop goal. I can't pass. I don't know what's going on. No, we lost it again. I don't know. Off for a scrum. Oh, man. M15 was great at the World Cup. He was. M15 is absolutely the main man when it comes to this game. Like when you get the scrum like nailed down, like now, like we've got the ball again. But this time I want to go this way with my number 8. There we go. Like, I didn't feel very confirmed, but we got to try from the number 8. When you understand the scrumming mechanics and how it works, it's actually really easy to just dominate the scrum, but you have no ability to get anything wrong. Otherwise, it's an immediate penalty if like, I don't know. I think that needs some work in. Let's go for long range. Everyone has range in this game, by the way, because I don't think I've shown off enough about the kicking mechanics in this game. I don't think a lot of people have seen the conversions or what have you. How do you feel this compares to the Rugby Challenge style gameplay? I've not really played a lot of the Rugby Challenge games. I think this is very similar in the way it is. I am very glad there isn't slow motion like there is in the Rugby Challenge games. Let me showcase this. You basically want to line it up, hold down Y for as long as you want to. Make sure that line's going through the posts. Let go. That's how you do a kick in this game.
No problem, as he adds the extras.
Again, needs to be more difficult. We should not be mastering kicking day one. A lot of people didn't like the Rugby 22 kicking system. I actually did quite like it with the flick sticks. I quite liked that it was... There was a good chance you could just get it wrong out of absolutely nowhere. The rucking... I'm trying to read things. Go on the charge. Here we go. Nope, not going to break through there. The rucking system and running reminds me of RC4. I've seen a lot of people have a similar thought about that as well. The rucking system especially makes me think of Rugby Challenge. You know, it's got a bit of a Rugby League-esque vibe to it. But I've never been a big fan of these games where you add players to the ruck. It was the same with Rugby 08. There was the criticism I had about Rugby 08 that apparently I'm the only one in the world who thinks it. But the Rugby 08 rucking mechanics are bizarre to me. That you don't actually need to ever ruck in the game. You just enter a ruck and occasionally you win, occasionally you don't. You don't even need to attempt to be involved with it. You add players to the ruck rather than you as the player being the one to impact the ruck. I feel like all aspects of gameplay in a sports game should be you doing something. I don't want to, like... no, we lost it again. Lost it again. So this glitch that we're witnessing now, where you can't do anything with the ball, stems from doing that passing thing where you hold down the bumper to pass, and it says, which player would you like to pass to? Press A, B, X, da-da-da-da. If you don't select a player in time, or sometimes it just doesn't load up the options, this glitch happens where the ball just gets stuck in the ruck and nothing happens. And I find that... What do you mean early? How was that early? That was a great move by me. Right, let's go on the charge. Here we go. Still going. Snake back inside. Oh, he's still going. Number 8 on the big charge all the way. Let's run it in. Boom. What a great try, snaking through. Like, I do like the when you break the line, the way the players run, it's not like, you know, Rugby 08 where you could run in almost diagonal lines on a dime. You have to manually turn, you have to manually snake, and I like that feels more realistic. But there's something about it that feels slightly too hard to tackle someone doing that, and it feels a little bit exploitative. But I do like that running mechanic of the game, that it feels more realistic. Let's go for another massive kick. Oh no, apparently I didn't get back in time, so we don't get to do that. Just slot that one through like it's nothing again. The ball runs so far on kicks, yeah, it really does. The ball's all over. I mean, I'm not even kicking. Like, I mean, this is where the game has got to. Like, I don't understand the kicking enough that I don't even actually like kick the ball in the game anymore. That's bizarre for me. I'm a big kicking person, like defensively as well. I kick loads. What happened to Rugby Challenge? They're gone. Basically, they had all their licenses ended, so they can no longer legally sell their game. So Rugby Challenge 4 is dead in the water. I never got to play it. And we're on to Rugby 25. Game needs much better game mechanics. Yep, I think we're all there. We're all in agreement. Let me try and read chat while they're doing things. I need to work on my kicking. Let me try and get at the actual kicking mechanic down. The only thing about the kicking, I just wish there was a trajectory line. I tried to use the analog stick for the first time in the entire game, and my guy just dives on the floor, and they just run past the ball, and it's just nothing happening. No one is in that ruck. Nobody is there. Is that even a ruck? Who knows? Oh, is my fullback going to get back? I do like the way the ball moves in the air. I can't kick. I started that kick 5-10 meters inside my own 22, and he ran so far with the ball. Like, it takes so long to get a kick off. Yeah, the kicking just needs to be better. What is your biggest rugby unpopular opinion? Oof. How many people do we want to make mad? What, in terms of rugby gaming or in terms of actual rugby? One that I did say that got a lot of people very annoyed, which will unfortunately really annoy you, Ireland fan, is I said I think Ireland got very lucky to beat South Africa in the pool stages. A lot of people didn't like that, but my thought process on it was that Ireland beat South Africa by that was an actual turnover. That Ireland beat South Africa by like 4 points, but South Africa missed like 9 points at posts. And had South Africa just had someone who could actually kick to an international standard, Ireland wouldn't have won the game. And you could change nothing about the game. Every penalty is still a penalty. Every tackle is still a tackle. Every missed tackle is still a tackle. Nothing could change about the game. If they just had someone who could kick at posts, South Africa win that game. And a lot of people got really annoyed at me. I'm in heaven at the minute. Rugby content on the tablet. Can I cook while roaming Skyrim? That sounds like a great evening. To be fair, I might prefer to be playing Skyrim. Do you want to trade? I'll watch you play. In fact, you know what? Let's just go offside. Ugh, get in there. Not having Andre Pollard taking conversions is a risk, Razzie. In fact, there you are. Lewis actually jumped in on the same conversation that I was mentioning about the pool stages there. Oh, wow, that was a hell of a pass. Shut him down. What are the odds we have to pay for the full access as well? I really don't know. I mean, if you're going to buy it on console, I think it's understandable to... What is put the ball down? Can I just put the ball down here? What do you reckon? A? X? Oh! You can't put the ball down. Can you put the ball down? I actually have no idea. Defending. Drive, loose ball. Scrum, maul. Line out, kicking. Is there no button to put the ball down? Maybe there's not. Maybe you can't do that. But yeah, the fact that they've made people pay for the early access makes me think that it would make sense to just transition to being that you have the full game. But obviously, if you're trying to if you want to play the game on console, we've actually managed to steal that back. There we go. If you want to play the game on console, there's no real way that they could, do the crossover between whether or not you paid for early access on PC, followed by or make a little breakdown there, followed by give you a game for free on the console. So I think if you buy it on PC, don't expect... Oh, we've had the glitch again. Don't expect to get the game for free on console because you bought the early access. But I think if you bought it on PC, it would make sense that they would just transition this into the full release of the game. I think a lot of people would be very annoyed if you paid for the early access and then had to pay for the game afterwards. If they bring weather systems, yeah, weather systems not in the game at the minute. I would like weather systems that actually affect stuff. I mean, you know, wind is clearly the main one. But like, you know, rain, I would like rain. And, you know, during rain, people drop the ball a little bit more. I can't kick the ball. I can never get the kicks away. Can we go... Right, let me drop this right back. I really want to try and get a kick. And they throw just the worst... Like, just, I can't get a kick. There's no, like, function to be able to drop this in the pocket for you to get this ball away. And they run up on you too quick to get a kick away. I really dislike the kicking system. Lineouts need to be re-looked at. Rugby 22 lineouts were not that bad. Yeah, lineout systems can be worked. I quite like the Rugby 22 where you can steal a lineout even if you get it wrong, like your call wrong, as long as you get good timing. Rugby 08 had a little bit of issues with the A was way too overpowered and you just jump for the front, you seem to steal almost everything. The lineouts in this game are really quick. They're like, nothing happens and then they throw the ball in like lightning and they're already in the air. Like, I find it really hard to... It's just guesswork. I would like there to be... I would like, again, there's a lot of things they just need to go over. But again, it's just the idea that, you know, we have to give them feedback, areas to look over. What was your opinion on Rugby 2018? I never played Rugby 2018. I played Rugby 15, then Rugby 20, then Rugby 22. Was Rugby 2018 actually, like, relatively okay? There was one game that people didn't like. And was that Rugby 15 or Rugby 18? One of them people hated and one of them people thought were alright, right? Bear says, fancy releasing a game from a French company and DuPont isn't in the starting lineup. Yeah, I believe he was still over at Sevens, most likely, when this was all being implemented. So I wouldn't be surprised if DuPont isn't even in at the minute. They're probably having to wait to try and organise. We also don't have a French winger on the left wing, so it wouldn't surprise me that there's probably still a couple of French players missing. Come on, boys, get in here. Let's go for another. What is the score, by the way? I've not really been keeping up with it. Oh, we've gone the wrong way. Well, we'll make it work. Got, like, that camera angle's so weird as well. There's something else I've noticed as well, because I'm playing on the side camera. I really think the game is not designed for you to be playing on the side camera. They really don't want you to do it. So, like, lineouts and scrums, the camera is, like, on the wrong side for playing side on. So when the action ends, it has to do this full, like, 180 rotation. I used to study film, and there is a whole thing about the rule of 180, not to make a cut that jumps across the 180, or not to rotate all the way around, because it's too jarring to the human eye, and it doesn't work. Like, you actually start making the player run one way, but by the time the camera gets round, you're actually going the opposite way to the way you want it to. Oh, it's Jesse Creel, like a madman, in for the corner. Let's have one more. What is all the teams that have real players? France and Australia. That is where it's at for the early access at the minute. Hope the Lions will be in. Yeah, it'd be nice for the Lions to be in. I would like to be able to create your own Lions as well. I think that would be a fun addition to the game. I'll be doing Wales World Cup Six Nations Osprey career mode. What was that anime? What was going on there? All the players run a ball and the referee just blew his whistle. I don't know what was going on there. Oh, well, this is actually a bit of a trickier kick. Let's have a look how this works out. Okay, oh, the analog stick is fighting me here. There we go. Betty Van coming in with a £2 super chat. Thank you very much, Betty. That is very, very generous of you. Use this super chat to bribe Zam at home. I will do. I think we only need another £900 million. And he might come back. What's his salary over in, like, the NFL? It's something outrageous, right? Isn't it, like, $4 million or something? I love this shot. You know when sometimes in a game, you just want to look at a staircase? That is, you know... Give me more staircases in games, please. Oh, man. Who doesn't love it? Who doesn't love this sort of stuff? It's great, isn't it? I love finding these. Oh, what am I doing here? fighting my own thing. Yeah, a little bit of a scroll back through. I haven't caught up with chat particularly well there. Do you think the British and Irish Lions will be in the game? Oh, we literally just said about that. Yeah, I think they will be. If not, it will be in the custom area. You know, people will create it. People will make that. Great job, Mad Dragon. But the game looks atrocious as I fear. Well, thank you for me doing a good job. I'm glad you think so, Matt. Yeah, a lot of people haven't been particularly happy about the race so far. You think SA or Ireland will win, and who starts at 9? I genuinely don't know if it's... Now, there was a game... I'm going to have to... Hang on, let me go back out of here. There was a game that I saw... Now, I don't know what I was doing when this game happened. I want to get this up. I saw a post that was like the last 3 games between South Africa and Ireland. Ireland versus South Africa. Last 10 games. I don't know what you call this. Let's go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia will know. Wikipedia knows everything, right? And there was one game that like blew my mind, and I don't know where I was. I'm sure we've got some Ireland fans in here who can tell me, or some South African fans who never want to relive this, so I'm very sorry about this. What was this game? I feel like I have no memory of that game at all, where Ireland beat them 38-3. Like 2017 was before I had the channel, so I wasn't necessarily following rugby as closely. It's obviously, you know, November internationals, and I'm trying to think when that was. I think I'd finished university by then. It might have just been a case that I was just working and had no way of watching the game, but I assume it would have been on a weekend. I did used to work in hospitality though, so I did used to work weekends. There's every chance I might have just not known that game was on, but I could not believe that scoreline. I was astonished that game happened, and I've never seen it. But yeah, 2017 autumn internationals. But yeah, you can see like the last games, 19, 16, 88 points to 13 in that pool stage game. It's always going to be a tough game to call either way, I think. I genuinely don't know. Ireland are going to come in slightly rusty. They've not played since the Six Nations. South Africa played Wales. I didn't think they played the best game that they ever had, but they were also missing a couple of people. I believe they're going to be back fully stocked for the Ireland game as well. So I think that's a really tough call. I do hope that Edwill van der Merwe gets to stay in, though. I think Kurtley Arendse's back in for South Africa, and I assume he's going to get the starting shirt. I really liked watching van der Merwe for South Africa, so I hope he's back in. Did you also ask about the 9? I feel like I've read something else. Who do you think will start at 9? What, for both teams? I think Faf will start for South Africa. And I assume Gibson Park, unless I'm way outside and there's injuries that I don't know about. Then that'll be that. I think an extra level of difficulty is a very nice addition. Yep, I wish it made a real impact, Daniel. We played, I've won a game on the hardest difficulty. South Scotland versus Japan. I didn't really notice any difference other than the AI does a little bit more wiggling through your tackles, and you seem to fall off tackles a little bit more. I almost bought Rugby 20 yesterday, and something told me not to buy it, and then I didn't. I got the news Rugby 25 is coming out tomorrow. Well, it depends on what you. Well, it's out today. Or you noticed yesterday it was out tomorrow, so yeah, it's out today. It's up to you what you do with the price grobbler. I've had people before that have mentioned prices of more modern games and what would you recommend. And I've said to people before, like, I've seen Rugby 22 go on sale for like £3 over here in the UK, or if you use like CD keys. Like, that game for £3 is fine. That game for £10 is perfectly fine. It was just that when it came out, people like me paid £50 for that, plus postage. And is it worth £50? Probably not. But for like £5, £10, you can pick up Rugby 22 and have a great deal of fun. You just can. A lot of people are very negative about Rugby 22. There's a lot going on. If you buy it on PC, there's plenty of mods for it as well, and you can have fun. You can do plenty of stuff to keep yourself entertained. When I got my PC, because I had it on Xbox, I picked it up for £3 on CD keys, and obviously with the channel, I like put hundreds of hours into it on the PC. But you can definitely crack out 20 hours of probably enjoyable fun on Rugby 22 from start to when you go, I'm now winning every game. So is it worth £3? Probably. Do you know the final date of the Rugby game? Nope, none of us know. I assume next year is where we're at. Can you make subs? No. You have a starting 15, which isn't even necessarily the full 15, because we have Malvaca out on the wing for France. There are no subs. There is no way to look at team rosters. People have said, which, hard to confirm, that they think the player ratings for all the other teams are the same ratings for each person in each position. So, like, that's why N15, number 15, is brutal for every team that's not France or Australia, is because they are like the highest rated player on every team that's neither of those two teams. Because every team that I play that's not those two teams, the 15 always seems to be the best. And I think people are already assuming that the stats for them at the minute are pretty similar across the board. Do you think the quality of the Super Rugby comp is fading due to no South African roadies? I have no idea, William. This is the first year I've not watched Super Rugby. I tried to cover Super Rugby on the channel last year, and they gave me a copyright strike for talking about it. So I said, I'll never, ever cover or watch Super Rugby again. And I haven't. I've never given them any money, and I've not seen a game since. I have no idea what level they're working at. I've seen a couple of things pop up on highlights and stuff. I have seen that, from when I was watching it a few years back, the Crusaders were dominating. I used to put good money on Crusaders winning that tournament every year. And the year that I've stopped watching it, I believe the Crusaders really fell off, and again I think they've sort of gone down. So I think that Super Rugby from the New Zealand club level teams has taken an impact. I'm not too sure about some of the Australian teams and stuff, because Australia rugby generally is a bit of an issue. I don't think it's done them any particular good though to have lost to South Africa. It's just good competition, right? They've come over to the URC, and you've got South African teams all the way in the finals and stuff in the URC. So they're clearly top quality competitors that you want to play against, and there's a big win. I'm not hardcore, but when I was watching a lot more club rugby, I was supporting the Ospreys. I've caught a couple of the URC games because occasionally they're on S4C over in here in Wales, where you can actually watch it for free. And I saw the Ospreys beat the Stormers, and I was like, that's a really, really big win for them. So I think it's having South African teams in a club level situation is definitely good. Daniel said the Irish masterclass is what happened in that. I have no memory of that game. I was probably working in pubs, and I was probably having way too many beers, and I just don't even remember. Gibson Park will be a big loss for Ireland with his current form. Is Gibson Park injured or not in? I genuinely don't know what's been going. Is he just out, or is he injured? Is this why people are talking about the scrum half situation so much? A lot. Oh, he is out. Lewis just said, yeah, JBGB is out. Oh, then I don't know. Conor Murray is just your standard go-to. I just don't think Conor Murray impacts a game that much to me anymore. He's the guy that seals it out, right? You put him on at 65 and he doesn't really do anything wrong for the last 15 minutes. But I just don't think he necessarily takes control of the game himself and dominates. Maybe you look at Craig Casey. Is Craig Casey still going? Just youth, just someone who's anxious to go and try and do something. He can be a little bit hectic. Oh, that might be an issue for them, actually, to be fair. Can a interception happen? As Ray, I've not seen an interception in Rugby 25 so far. I'm trying to think over my playtime so far. I've not seen an interception, so maybe not. I mean, there's no offsides. Maybe they didn't think about interceptions. Will says, I must say the tackling in this game makes me want to watch paint dry rather than spend 60 quid on the game. Hopefully it improves. Yeah, the tackling system is. It's just not what you'd expect, right? There's a lot of talk about dynamic gameplay and really feeling the situation. It's very slow. It's very monotonous. There's lots of one-off runners that run into one man who they all drop and nothing happens. It's certainly an area I've no doubt. In fact, shall we take a look? Shall we take a look at what's been going on? Because I haven't followed it up today on the FAQ page. I assume people have been going wild for there you are. There's some feedback there. Thanks for joining us, JNT. He's been asking for feedback, players. He's a jump straight in there. I'm playing on console, can't play it. I want to see what people have, if anyone's. I just wanted to see if anyone would put a list that we could sort of rattle off very quickly. I know a couple of you guys in the Discord have said you were already filling them in. Played too much for Edgeware. No scrum half will come to the ruck. I've certainly had that issue. Player will stand behind the ruck and do nothing. We've had that issue. This leads to a scrum. That is a glitch that I found when it comes to trying to pass out from the ruck. We must have a free play or tutorial. Yeah, tutorial's not in the game. To understand a lot of the functionalities, the scrums, the lineouts. I think it'd be useful to do something like that rather than just looking at the control scheme or watching, a video like mine and trying to get me to understand how it works a little bit. Would also say the stepping and fending. I haven't really shown off a lot of the stepping because I don't think it works. You can do like handoffs and stuff on the right analog stick. It doesn't particularly work too well for me. The rucking is weird. I'm sure that's going to be something we see across the board. Big thing with the tackle ruck is the tackling player is back to his feet far too quickly. I wonder if they're going to mention this bounce yet. I've not seen a competing jackling animation yet. Nope, no one does that. I wanted to more talk about that one. The person that gets back to their feet after making the tackle is the only way I've seen a turnover happen. That player who made the tackle stood back up on their feet and just reached down and grabbed the ball in the middle of the ruck and then ran with it. That's the only thing I've seen close going to the jackling thing. I have many critiques. Let's start with the essentials. Good running and passing. Many of the passes feel unrealistic laser beams. If anything, I feel like it's an arc of lightning that goes over and couldn't quite get there. Great feedback, thanks. Also, momentum across phases will certainly be implemented. That's nice to see from Ross. I'm glad he's already involved. I didn't know whether they'd be following this up too much today. It's Friday here. For those guys over in like Australia, it's probably Saturday now, I assume, time-wise. So I don't know if they're working today. I don't know if game developers work a great deal on weekends. If they do, great for them. I'm glad to see that Ross is already in there and getting involved. To be positive is crazy difficult here. As a fan, how can you even begin to... Okay, yeah, we don't... Again, it's don't want to be too negative. You just got to give actual feedback that they can work with flaws. Here you go. This is what you want to be doing. Passing needs to have a bit more power. The longer you hold the pass, the further it goes. Yeah, they've tried to do something different. They've tried to do something different with the passing, which I don't think is a bad idea, but it's just not what people are used to. I like... genuinely, the idea of if you hold down the pass button, it comes up with the options that you can choose who to pass to. I think that gives you as the player so much more variation in deciding how to attack. The only problem is that maybe it would come with a length of time with the game that you would know which player was going to be what button. But the players seem to rotate so much that it's really hard to gauge who you want the ball to go to. And by the time you've held it down, your player is running with the ball and you scan all the buttons and go, who do I want it to go to? You look through them all and go, that's the button. And by the time you press it, your guy is already tackled. So just the rush that you get off the line, I think is good. But a lot of people will be much more used to the idea of holding down that pass button to make it go longer. Maybe, I'm trying to think about just the control scheme itself, because the control scheme is awkward in the game anyway. Maybe you could implement the left trigger. As far as I'm aware, the left trigger doesn't do anything when you've got the ball in hand. Maybe there would be a way you could implement it so that you hold down the pass button and then hold the left trigger. If you hold down the bumper, you just pass the ball. But if you hold down the left trigger while you're passing, it gives you the letters to choose, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to put a lot more thought into that. Not Ross going in there. Has anyone else got their A and B button swapped around and the same with the X and Y? I think that's just not Ross. I've not had that issue. At the minute, it feels a lot like Rugby League with the positioning. Yeah, a lot of people are not 9 and 10s. Tackling animations is very Rugby League. Yeah, people are going to have the same things. Tactic and set plays, yeah, that's good to mention because there isn't any set plays or something. But like I sort of showed at the start of the stream, I feel like it's already in. And they've just not got it in this version. I think seeing those things with the running lines, I think it's already designed, so I'm sure that's already coming. Rucking and jackling. The rucking is rather slow and cumbersome. There's no option to jackal yet that I can find. I mean, there is. It's the X button. The game doesn't tell you it's the X button, so I'm not surprised people are missing that. And it also doesn't work, unless I've just been doing it wrong the whole time. Fluidity and momentum, which Ross has already mentioned. B-Pans, come in with, see, this is good, a nice little list. Gameplay looks like sometimes it's more Rugby League than Union. A lot of people are saying the same thing. The players seem to be random. My fullback Ramos is not covering the backfield, but Talfai Fanua does. Malvaka playing as a winger. I don't feel it's yet possible to do some sort of combination. Yep, I absolutely agree with that. When rucking, opponents seem to look at themselves and do nothing. So everyone's sort of in a similar line with it. And, one thing, the refs never whistles for offside or knock on. I think I've had a knock on. But for offside is certainly not implemented into the game. Goal kicking seems okay to me. I mean, in terms of that it works, it's certainly okay. But it's one button. It's just one button. You hold down Y and you just line it up. It's genuinely hard to like miss a kick. You have to almost go out your way to miss a kick. The buttons don't always seem to work. I've also had that issue. I've pressed pass 3 or 4 times before they actually pass. The players seem to almost all have the same shape and height. I see a couple of people mentioning that. I think they're probably similar heights. You would like to see a bit more differentiation. When they come out in the animation, when they're running, I do see a discrepancy in height and weight and stuff of the French and Australian teams. But I do think for the other teams, because that's what I was going to show. I was going to show that I think they're all the same player for all the other teams. Photogrammetry is sick. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a good positive. Photogrammetry does look good. I think the French and the Australian players do look good, and I'm sure when they implement it across the board, it will look good. Animations and tackles don't look realistic yet. Would we call to have the capacity to break the tackles? I mean, you can break tackles. It just looks a bit janky when they do it. Stadium's pretty, but the colours... Yeah, I've seen a few people mention about shadows. Shadows are really dark. It is like you are either in the light or you are either, on the dark side of the moon. Shadows certainly going to be stuff. But, you've seen that there. A couple of people have brought up similar points, and I'm sure the other things we're going to go off. I don't want to jump into it too much. But people will have the same feedback, and this is what the developers need. They need to know what people want to see. I still believe they're slightly ahead of what you actually believe, so that their first update will be a very grand update where they fix a lot of things. I just cannot believe, specifically the rucking and the tackling mechanics, I cannot believe they went, this is perfect, and they did the early access and it would have taken them by surprise. They must know that doesn't work. If they sit down and play one game, you go, this doesn't work very well. So it's already on the radar, right? I'm sure they already know a lot about that. Your best friend works in a hotel in Cardiff as a barman. Coolest moment was him sending me all the pics of him serving the Wales team. Well, that's fun if you get to see him. I did have someone once that accidentally walked into a lift that was filled with the New Zealand team when New Zealand came over to Wales. And she said that it was just like she literally had to squeeze in because there was 8 giant New Zealand players because they were all staying in the hotel. Catch you soon, mate. Thank you, Tom, for stopping by. Do you think Eddie Jones leaving out big names last year in the World Cup squad made an impact? Yeah, I think Australia were just in all sorts of trouble. I was still very annoyed that they got rid of is Dave Rennie? Dave Rennie who I had in my head. There was a whole thing about them doing the Rugby Championship, and over the course of 1 year, Australia had only won 40% of their games. And it was like, if you look at the injury list he was working with, a C team Australia and still won 40%. I thought they were fine. I thought they were going to be on the up. And he got sacked. They brought Eddie Jones in, and then they left the second year with Eddie Jones. They were like, 10% win ratio. I was like, well, he didn't do better, and he had a better team. So I think they did a silly move by getting rid of the old coach anyway. I think Connor is the more mature choice, but Casey is a bit of a rocket elf player when the 9th round. Yeah, I absolutely imagine so. I've been playing the early access a bit, and when you hand off, it feels like you've slapped them with a wet napkin. Yeah, it's momentum, right? And they've mentioned it a bit there. The momentum for the game is something they're going to work on. There's a lot of stopping actions you're doing. Stop your players dead, and it doesn't. It just doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't feel like it works very well. So yeah, handoffs and stuff need to work. For stealing the ball, spam Y. When there is one defender, then press X. We can give it a go. Jackals Wolf, we'll see what happens. Taking into consideration the time they've spent on this game, Stephen, you think the game's too bad? I think a lot of people are with you on that. It's one of those lines you got to walk with this game. I don't want to be super negative and super critical about it. A lot of people just want to be negative. It's the internet, right? People are always going to be negative about it. I have a much harder time being lenient, or as lenient as I could be, with this game, because I've played other games that are in early access and have been great, and I've played them. One that if people have been with the channel for a very long time, and I'm talking literally from the start, I used to play a game called Grounded on the channel before I started moving into the whole rugby stuff. And I started playing Grounded in early access, and when I first started playing, it was probably 4 hours worth of content in the game. It looked nice. It had quite a few bugs, literally. But it was a fun game to play. The game mechanics were interesting. A lot of the stuff they added into the game was interesting. It was a really fun game to just sit down and enjoy playing. And as they went through early access that lasted a year, it only got better. So early access games can absolutely be done right. And I'm sure they had much more money behind them in granted, because I think they were actually done by like Microsoft. I think we're actually behind it as well. So I'm sure they had much more money involved with it. But early access games can be done right. And people seem to be using the early access wall as like, this is why you can't be negative of a game. Rugby 25 lives in a slightly different world because this game was meant to come out September of last year. Not like it was meant to go into early access. It was meant to be released. Full game. Buy it in shops now. It's, what did we see when it was the first prices when it came out? £50, £45, £50 when it was first like announced on like HMV and stuff. I did do it on the channel. That was what people were, going to be expecting 10 months ago. They've had 3 delays. They've had 10 months of extra development time on it. And they've now entered the early access, and it's still not really at a fantastic standard in terms of some really key mechanics like tackling and rucking. And I think people have a right to be annoyed. And I'm sure Big Ant Studios will probably be like, yeah, we know certain aspects of the game are not where we want to be. They've mentioned momentum in the FAQ pages already themselves. And I'm sure they know about the tackling and the rucking. I'm sure they're already working on stuff like set plays. We already know there's a lot more teams involved in the game than what they've given us in early access. But I think it's fair to be critical of a game that got 10 extra months development and it's still not, to a standard that you'd say, not flawless, doesn't have to be flawless. But it should at least be to a very decent standard that I'm having a great time. This game came out today. I have probably spent more time on this stream talking to you guys than playing it. This new rugby game came out today. I think we've played like 4 games of it. And one of them was an AI versus AI game because like you can only play so much of it. We only want to watch rucks happen so much in a game where nothing happens and no penalties are given and there's no offsides and the scrumming mechanics struggle. So, I think that you have every right to be critical of it. It's just when giving it back to the developers, it should be in the form of constructive feedback. These are the things that don't work for me as a consumer. Many people watching the stream now or many people that will catch the videos afterwards will say, I paid £25 for this game. And for me, at the minute, it's not an enjoyable experience, So these are the things I, as the consumer, want to fix or want to see fixed by you guys. So, and I really hope they do it over the course of the early access. And I believe they do stick with games for quite a while. So hopefully we do get there. Do you think the game has potential? I absolutely think it has potential. Like the amount of licenses they've got in this game should be a phenomenal, like large game. They've got loads of stadiums. They're going to have like every team ever. We can showcase some we can play like Croatia versus Uruguay. What rugby game can you do that in? That is fantastic. But like the most important element in a game like this is having the mechanics of the actual game down. I did see a comment on one of my videos. Someone said about like the rugby, what do they not like rugby manager games where you're sort of spending a lot of the time making a team and then it sort of like plays a simulation of a game and people are like, it's okay. But I'd like to play the game, and like I don't want to have some really great management mechanic where I can build this amazing team and a card system, buying and selling packs in game and currency, and have this unbelievably fleshed out career system. And then every game you play, you sit there and go, oh, another ruck, and just nothing happens. It's got to have good game mechanics, otherwise it doesn't matter having 140 licenses in the game. Game mechanics has to be the most important thing. What do you think about the new pass system? I like it, but I feel it can be difficult in intense moments. Yeah, the AI rush up too much on you. I think a different controller layout for some of the buttons is definitely something that can be worked on. How did you get the side camera, Astrid? I'll jump into it because I think a lot of people like me are surprised with this. I didn't have it in the video because I couldn't work it out. The side camera. Oh, we've got the wrong thing on. Bear with me. That's what I want. Move the mouse off as well. So the side camera. Let's go over here. Let's put on some teams. Who's like a fun team? Who should we do? Chile! Let's be Chile. How much do you want to play as Chile? I want to play as Chile. I want to play as Portugal. Just do Chile, Spain. That is a horrible set of kits. Hang on. There we go. So you go past this bit. What were we searching for? Oh, side camera. Side camera is in the settings. Go into your general settings, go over to your camera, and the side camera is what they call high. Why is it called high? Call it side. I've genuinely spent quite a long time trying to think about what high means. I don't know what high is in terms of... Do they mean it's high in the stadium? Like, I don't know what high means. I don't know why that would ever mean sideline. You've either got end balanced or high, and the side camera is high. Change it to high and have a more enjoyable camera experience. I've never liked games that have the stuck behind the player angle to it. What am I doing here? I want to go over to Spain, and I think I've still got this on easy. Yeah, let's go back down to day because I prefer the daytime. Don't get me wrong, I think they've done really well with the graphics and the licensing because I hated only having some licensing in very 22. Yeah, I think, you know, the work they put in to get all the licenses, I think is fantastic. And when the photogrammetry is done for every team, this will be a really good game, you know, in terms of the players and stuff. When people start making their own stadiums, people will do some really cool stuff. I don't understand why the whole stadium, Stade de France, doesn't have any ad board around it. The lighting of the game and the shadows are awful, really disappointed with it. Advertising, I assume, is going to end up being, again, it'll be another licensing issue, right? It'll be if they have an actual advertising board, there'll be some nonsense legal loophole like, you know, anyone that wants their stuff advertised in the game is only paying for that stuff to be in the game, and this is early access, therefore it's not the real game. So they're not going to implement it. There'll be some nonsense about it to have some stuff like that. Again, that needs to be worked on. I think that kickoff where the camera just stays stationary and nothing happens, and you're waiting for your players to run up on it. I definitely need. Oh, Spain going for the early plays here. It's nice to see them do something different. Here we go. Right. Pick it up and run, boy. Right, let's go for a bit of a kick myself. Do we have the bounce?
Nobody wants it.
Where is my player? You know, again, no map. No little mini-map of the players, I think, would be really handy to have in between where the players' names are. A little map just to show where your players are, because I've got number 14 chasing that, but I have no idea where 14 is in relation to the game, because he's off camera. Again, I think it's a thing because this game is not meant to be played side-on. I think it's a consideration missed out because you're meant to be able to see them on screen because you'd be, you know, running the other way. Man, I hope that doesn't go straight out because I've run way too far. Oh, that's got a decent bounce. I'm enjoying kicking a bit more. This is fun. Playing as the lower-rated team is great fun because we kick more. The game feels more open. There's less rucking. Right, what did... Jackal's Wolf say, go for Y repeatedly and then press X. Okay, let's go for it. Y, X. Nope. Didn't do anything. Oh man, I'm loving that Spain are kicking. I don't know why my fullback is never there. Oh, I'm back in that back corner. Put them under pressure. Slow down, ball. Slow down. Where is my players? There we go. Chasing down. Big hit. Nope. Went for the analog stick. Went for the analog stick again. Didn't work for me. Well, guys, here's a interesting piece of it. Oh, there's a try! I'm having fun. I'm having fun playing Rugby 25. The answer is be the lowest rated teams in the game. Then you will have fun because apparently the AI does much more when you play as the lower rated teams. We got some cool music in the background as well. What a lovely try. Dot that one down. Put them under a bit of pressure. Right, let's see how good the number 15 is for Chile in terms of his range kicking. I want to see what this bad boy is packing in terms of his range. Let's have a look. Can number 15 from Chile land it? Whoosh. Yes. Number 15. Best kicker in the world. Is this like AFL 23 where eventually got it right? I haven't actually followed up on AFL 23 to see what the current viewpoint of that is. I know that game didn't have a great launch either. But I believe they stuck with it a lot and made a lot of improvements. I don't know what the game is currently like. So, you know, go for a sidestep. Nope. My sidestep was just him boosting in pace. Come on, boys. Let's go this way. Here we go. I was going to go for a little chip over the top here. Didn't work. Right. Here we go. Out wide. There we go. Put them under pressure. Oh, he was ready for it. Go for the turnover, boys. Come on. We got this, Chile. Chase him down. Good hit. I really wish the analog stick tackle. I feel like even a small change like that, like having the analog stick coming in and work would be awesome. I can't read that name. I'm playing this against it. El Rusi Wee. Thank you for the subscription, mate. Thank you. I'm glad you for enjoying the stream or / watching a video. I'm trying to read the names and have a look out. Boom! Take a seat. I actually had a thing that worked, and then my guy just kicked the ball. I actually had an analog stick tackle work. How are you getting on with the game? A lot of mixed reviews. This is the most fun I've had in the game so far. Chile, Spain. Chile, Spain is where the game is at. Don't bother playing as any of the top teams apparently, because this is much more fun. Okay, here we go. Box kick time. Put them under pressure. Boom. I'm gonna go for the big analog stick tackle. Bang. There we go. Yeah, the analog stick tackle is just weird. Like you have to be so close in range. And then it doesn't really feel like you've made a big impact. You just sort of tackle them the exact same way. My one dream is to be able to play Swaziland and take them to the World Cup, as my dad played for them in the 1980s/90s. That's fantastic, mate. Let's hope Swaziland will be in the game and you can fulfill your dream. That'd be great to do. Your dad played for them. That's awesome. I don't think I know anyone who's like like family or friend actually like play for like a like an actual team. Oh, here we go. Big break. Big break. Little kick over the top. Oh, ref. Come on. Tackled after the kick there. Surely. Crash Ball TV in the house. Sorry, I was on the wrong account. How are you getting on with the game? Yeah, but it's a mixed bag. It's been fun hearing other people's opinions on the game. I'm glad some people have come out for it and given some thoughts. We checked out the Big Ant Studios FAQ page before, and it seems like everyone has got the same sort of things that they're finding wrong with the game. So hopefully that means a lot of things are going to be fixed. Okay, let's try and go on the counter here. No, maybe still hit the gap. No. It looks so much better inside view. I think any sports game for me looks better inside view. Run round, bang, number 8. Oh, not going to hit the line. I really prefer it. I think it just feels more real. It feels like you're actually playing a game of rugby, or like watching a game of rugby happen as you're playing. Same with like FIFA. Imagine playing like a FIFA game, but playing like end over end on the camera. People would like probably think that was mental. Like, no, you play side on. That's where a camera is. This is where I'm used to seeing a game of rugby. Oh, we picked it up again. Didn't mean to do that. Well, we'll run into that tackle. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go for a punishing kick into the corner. Ooh, nearly. If only I had a trajectory that would show me where I was kicking that ball, as opposed to it just disappearing into the distance. That would be fun. Okay, let's try and go a little bit wider here. One more pass. Yes, and one more needed. I'm no longer the player. The AI missed the tackle, so my own AI took over the game. That's fun. Oh, there goes the halftime whistle. I've had much more fun in this game. I'm playing on easy against Spain, and suddenly I can enjoy this game a lot more. That's interesting, isn't it? I didn't think that would be a case. I'm enjoying Chile at the minute. Right, come on, boys. I want to hit this gap. There's definitely a gap here. Come on. There we go. That's what we wanted. Hit the gap. Right, little chip over the top. Great chip. And collects it. Number 6 running down the wing as the winger. Coming across for him. Cuts back inside. Oh! Can't stop him. I don't actually know who the Chile number 6 is. You guys might have to let me know down in the in the chat. Great try. Great try by the flanker there. What a step back inside. We all want to watch that again. I want to watch it from further back than that. What is with the lack of penalties from the videos? I say there's just no infringements from the game are in the game, unfortunately. There is no offsides. Scrum is about the only place I've seen actual penalties happen. I don't like this lock thing. I don't know how to undo that. I pressed move by accident. How do I go? I would like to go back to, like, I've now got a free camera, and this is fine. But sometimes it like locks onto players. Here we go. Here he goes. Oh, there he goes. Number 6. Oh man, hang on. Let's do that again. Touching the left analog stick seems to really break it. I want to get involved with this. I want to get involved with my number 6 here, having the run of his life. Look at this. Bang. Hit that gap. One more pass. That's where you want the gap between the outside centre and the winger. Little kick over the top. Beautiful. Running along. Looks over to the side and says, no, no, no. I see the winger incoming, striding on, waiting for that inside step. Runs it right over to the touchline and bang! Cuts back inside. Beautiful try. Look how much more fun I'm having with this game. Should we have a listen out for the commentary? I want to see if this, if the commentary... Let me just boot this into the middle of nowhere. I want to have a listen out for the commentary on this one.
He won't be rushing the kick.
Just pushes it wide.
See, stuff like that. Like, the commentary is like, it's well spoken, but like, it's just wide. Like, Jiffy, I just kicked that thing 50 meters to the right. It can't be more wide. I had one before where I did the same thing. I kicked it like straight out into the middle of nowhere. And the commentary team was like, from here, it looked like it went in. But, you know, the touch judges know better than us. It's like, it went nowhere near. It's like the words spoken by the commentators are actually really good. But like the tone and the way they're implemented, but they're just not put in the right place for the game, which is a shame. They should do what they do with the cricket, and they should have a proper rugby player go into the studios and scan him for animations. Like, I believe they did it. I believe that is exactly what they did. They've put a couple of videos out and stuff where they've got rugby players doing the face scans, but I think they also got a couple of them in to do the animations. Like, I don't think they're like, oh my god, I don't think they're like just created animations. I think they're people in body suits and they've done motion capture to get animations of people running and stuff. I think they've done some of that. I do side view for FIFA, but Madden has to be end on. Madden might be the only the only game I've never really played a Madden game. My old flatmate used to love playing Madden, and because of the way that Madden works with oh, jink me by running backwards? How dare you? That's insulting. Yeah, Madden, with the way that you have to look, you're looking like down the pitch and working out who to throw to, and you have all the set plays with the lines on the pitch. Madden might be the only sports game that's like, yeah, I absolutely understand that, because I think it would actually be quite tricky to work out what's going on with side camera. But yeah, Madden, I would probably say, is probably good to do end over end, so you can actually see what's going on. Oh man, that was a hell of a pass. I genuinely can't believe how much more fun I've had in this game than any other game I've played of this so far. Chile, Spain, easy. This is my new favourite marker. There goes Spain again on the kick. They love it. And it comes down for number 15. We're going to go for that corner. Can we get the 50-22 if the ball can bounce? Is it going to get in the 5-metre channel? No, not quite. The bounce of a rugby ball. So painful. But we will tie them up in their 22. And players should be able to bump off and hand off. I'll try and read the rest of that. Better at it in real life, so it's more realistic, like Ellis Genge or Josh Tuisova, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean the handoff, little things like that, I think are kind of hard to balance. Like Rugby 22 and Rugby 2011 is like it's you can't stop it. You just do it every time, and you just make 5 meters every single time just doing a handoff. I think it's a really hard balance. This game hasn't quite landed it correctly yet, because the dodging mechanics will try and do one here. Like you just sort of run sideways and do stuff, and they just sort of fall off you because you've done the thing, rather than it feeling like your actions have done it. I would like the design. Oh, that's a great line through there. If we could have got that pass away. I would like the design of it to be depending on what action you press. Oh, we've had the glitch. Nope. Depending on what the choice you choose as the player for the analog stick is what they do. I would like, if you push it downwards, it's a step to the... Oh, because I'm playing on side camera. It's a step to the left. If you push it upwards, it's a step to the right. Forward is maybe a handoff. But you've got to try and, get your player in a position that a handoff is actually likely. And then maybe the... Oh, well, I'm about to give away a penalty here, I think. Yep. And then the going right would be like an actual side step or something. I think it should be player input based, and you need to choose the right option for the moment. And I think that would be a great system to implement. That's an epic try. Get that in Discord. Yeah, it'd be our first our first one in from Rugby 20. Again, I can't even compete at these lineouts. It's so fast. Nothing happens, and then the ball just goes in. I don't even know how to time the line out to the minute. I would like to see a bit more animation from them to sort of show where they're going to go. Oh, hello. Hello. They break through. Hate the way the players just stop every time players tackle. Yeah, momentum is certainly something that I think everyone has brought up. It's an issue. Look at this. In fact, let's talk about the shadows for a second here as well, because people mentioned the shadows before. Like, this shadow to me is insane. This is so dark, and I have it with some of the players as well. That's not too bad. I want to sort of go like it's so dark. I understand that a shadow is absence of light. This actually doesn't look too terrible, but just on screen, you're just looking at it. Like when you get right up close, like I don't think it looks too bad. Like the shadows on players' faces. It's when you get to like this distance, and like the shadows become kind of so dark, you can't really tell a lot of what's going on the people's faces. I think they need to make the shadows slightly less harsh, and like the stadium shadows feel just very dark. I mean, the sun, the sun actually looks kind of above it there. Well, maybe I'm being uncharitable there. Oh, actually, it's coming through all the little... You know what? I'll take that back. They've actually got that pretty on. It just looks really dark on the field. It could just a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter, and I think it would just look a little bit better. But yeah, momentum in a game and players getting tackled is certainly something that needs to be worked on. There's a lot of like extra stopping that just doesn't need to happen in this game. Here we go out this way. Who's on it? Let's go wide. Here we go. Like doing those quick passes and choosing your pass is fine, but the game has got to realise there's someone outside me there and not chuck it into touch. But the one problem I have, I'll try and go quickly here. I just don't know. I give up trying to understand the lineouts. It's too go for the jackal. Jackal. Nope, no one in there. I don't know if it needs like 3 people from your team already in to like steal it, or what it requires you to do in the ruck. I just don't understand in order to get the ball back, what it wants you to do. Because it seems like if they get all 3 people in the ruck, they can't really do anything about it. Oh, here we go, boys. Oh, couldn't quite get the pickup there. The one I have with most rugby games is there isn't an actual body-to-body bump. As an avid rugby fan, yeah, there's not a great deal. There is one in Rugby 22. It's right on the analog stick, and it's a full bump off. They put their arms across their chest and they bounce into the player. You just have to really get the timing down right. But actually, I can't think of too many other ones. That's a great kick. 50-22 as well. There's not too many other games I can think of that actually have like a bump off, like dipping the shoulder, or sort of charging in with your chest first. I'm gonna go middle this time. They just go long every time. Maybe I should swap to going long. Like the players are in the shadows and I can barely see them. They're turning into ninjas, and I can't do anything about it. Those damn Spanish ninjas creating issues for me.
He's got to move this one wide.
I went for the analog stick tackle. Always too hard.
Got it well and is tackled.
Hang on, someone says about skill moves. Oh, I slid through one there. Can I try and get a turnover there? Oh, I actually thought they were going to do an animation with them. My guys all did a weird animation to like stand up. I'm going to stand here. No, they're going the other way. Oh, they're breaking through. Spain are still wanting to... How long did I put this game on for? I feel like this game's been going on for a while. I've had fun with it, though. Which is nice. I've been enjoying Chile versus Spain.
I think we felt that in the commentary box. Has a look and flicks it inside.
Oh, no. Just don't tackle him then. Waltz on by. Just stroll past him.
Looking to send his man through the hole. Strong in the tackle.
Come on, boys. Hold it out. This is where it gets a little bit monotonous, when the AI sort of loses what it's doing, because you defend too hard and you just sort of do these one-off runners. They don't attempt to do anything different. They don't attempt to go for any sorts of kicks. They don't attempt to do any sort of different set plays. They just sort of go through one person at a time, let him run in, gets tackled again, and they just sort of walk backwards. For the big majority of this game, we've actually had some really nice, impact by the fact that they've done a lot of kicks, but I assume it's because now they're losing in like the 80th minute, that the game is like, oh, they can't kick now because they would lose the game. So now they've lost the ability to kick. Now they're just going to do these one-off runners, and the turnover mechanics just aren't there. So the game will just go on for as long as it needs to, basically. Which Again, you slowly watch the fun level drop off when they haven't quite landed this.
Long with a pass. Gathered in.
Again, that should be a pretty clear turnover, right? Like,
Hit to the ground.
there's just nobody there. We had 4 people there.
Now who's going to get to this ball first?
Well, I'll take it and run. Because I've had enough of this game now. Now is the time to end the game. It should be over. Let me kick it out. There's all our guys in sunglasses again. And everyone feeling happy. Oh, I was going to show the player. Oh, there's a bigger look at everyone. Everyone is wearing a baseball cap and everyone has sunglasses. It is true. Skill moves should be like it does in FIFA. You can do as much... you can do so much like the spin around juking flick stick right makes you step right with the right foot. Yeah, I would like to see a more complex system added in. I think Rugby 20 and Rugby 22 was a little bit, too easy. You just do it, and eventually you get muscle memory for what the timing is going to be. The handoff especially is just an issue. Like, a handoff just works 100% of the time, so you just always make ground. So that's something that should probably be looked at. But I would like a more complex system anyway. I think that would be nice. Just make the rucks like Jonah Lama Rugby. How hard can it be? Hey, people are asking for it. People are asking. I like a tapping system myself. I like the idea of repeatedly tapping a button for a ruck. I don't care that much about adding people into the ruck. In real rugby, if you get tackled in a terrible position, one guy can get over you and jackal and get a turnover. You don't need 4 people in a ruck. You don't need to have all those guys added into a ruck. If you're going to have an adding players into the ruck mechanic, I feel like you should be able to counter ruck. And it doesn't seem to be a thing in games. Like, if you add 3 people into a ruck, it should not be to turn over the ball. It should be, I want my ruck to drive over the ruck. And then my scrum half comes in and picks up the ball and you take it over. And it should be that the other team chose to not put people in the ruck and I've punished them for it rather than it being as a turnover mechanic, I think. But I've never really seen a game utilize that very well. I think they made this game early access with rugby league mechanics so that they can get ideas from the community. I mean, maybe. I still think they'll be ahead of where they should be. I know... what were they involved with? Was it Rugby League Live 3 or Rugby League Live 4? What was Big Ant involved with? It would make sense they would take attributes from it. The only issue is people that are quite passionate about rugby union. Like, I've watched League. I've watched games of League. I'm not massively blown away by it because I don't like the game style. I don't like the 5 phases and then you kick. I like quite consistent, like, attacking rugby and trying to fight at the breakdown rather than people put it through their legs. And the just the general view of how rugby league looks in comparison to rugby union in some of those situations, like rucking and in the breakdown, they stand out very clearly. It's very obvious that something is rugby league or rugby union, and everyone in the community seems to agree this is clearly like a rugby league system that they've sort of changed to be rugby union. So, it would be nice if there was a bit more, from scratch developing from rugby union. I am surprised that am I surprised? I don't know. Because, like, Big Ben was involved with Rugby 20 and Rugby 22. They're a totally different game studio. So Big Ant Studios have had to make this game from scratch. I am surprised that nothing of that game is owned by Nakon to be able to say, would you like some of these things from this game to be able to implement into your game? I don't know a great deal about game development. I don't know how hard that is to implement. But things like the rucking system, I quite like the rucking system in Rugby 22. It wasn't the perfect one for me because I didn't like the addition of the analog stick. And once you mastered it, it was just too easy. But the general animations for people getting into a ruck, I think are better than this game at the minute. So, something like that could have been maybe taken over. All I want them to fix, make the AI better, add penalties, fix the lighting, and fix the tackles, because the tackles look like Live 4. Yeah, K-Dog, you're a lot of people saying the same thing about the Rugby League one as well. I wrote, do you know if there is the Bunnings NPC in the New Zealand Championship? I have no idea, mate. Unfortunately, we don't have anything even going in with New Zealand at the minute in terms of this game. I believe Nakon used to be Big Ben Interactive. Used to be Big Ben. They are the majority owned by Big Ben Group. Are they really? I thought Nakon was way bigger than Big Ben. I thought Big Ben Interactive was like just like a little studio. I didn't know that they would be. But is that actually a thing? I have no idea. Let's look it up. Why not? Hey, we're here. We're on stream. Big Ben Interactive. Oh yeah, subsidiaries. Yeah, Nakon. Yeah, I genuinely thought Nakon was bigger than Big Ben. Oh, well, I take it back then. They ain't giving nothing over it. But it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. I don't know game developer. I'm not a game developer. I don't know. That's why would they not help out with other games? I don't know. Nakon games have always been a little bit weird for me. There's very few Nakon games I think have done particularly well. I did see the release of Gollum. That thing got absolutely hammered. So I don't know how many Nakon games particularly do amazingly. If I get early access, will there be a full game at the end of it? We're not 100% sure. The Lord Ord. We're not. It's not been confirmed anywhere whether or not there will be. Obviously, if you're wanting to buy the game on console, I think it's reasonable to understand if you buy the game on early access on PC, they won't give you a free copy on console. I think that's pretty understandable because there's very few ways they'll be able to track that across. I find it weird that the idea that if they were going to charge for the early access, that they would then charge you again for the game. It would seem weird to me that they would do that because I don't think that would go down particularly well. Because what would you do then? You just disable the early access version that people have paid for? I don't know if they would do that. So it would lean to me that buying the early access goes into the full game and eventually it just won't be called early access anymore. You'll just have the final version of the game, I imagine. I don't know. Oh, Tyler coming in with the subscription. Thank you very much, Tyler. People have been subscribing all day. People have been enjoying the Rugby 25 content. I just want to have a look to see if anything else is going on with feedback and stuff. Oh, a lot of people adding in extra feedback and stuff. I know you guys can't see it on screen. Yeah, I think it's nice that people are giving feedback. Again, it's the way you give feedback is the most important thing. This is really good for them. Rue Dude coming in here, with a nice list. A nice list to go there. The graphics are really good. I like the goal kicking mechanic. It's interesting that a lot of people like the goal kicking mechanic. I'm quite 50-50 on it. I might be a bit of an outlier here. What do you guys think of the kicking mechanic? Do you like that it's just you just put the ball down and you just press one button and you just line up the kick? To me, it doesn't feel very hard, so it doesn't have a lot of interest to me. The idea of getting 100% of kicks all the time because it's actually hard to mess up. You have to actively mess up yourself. I'm not a fan of. I would like it to be tricky. I'm thinking for things like multiplayer as well. If they implement penalties, perfectly and stuff, just every penalty, just take 3. You won't miss. I feel like online will be absolutely destroyed if they just keep the kicking mechanics the way it is. But a lot of people seem to like it. Commentary is decent. Could use a second pundit. I think there is 2 in the games or not. There's Jiffy and I can't think of the guy's name. Scottish guy. I've been streaming a while. I'm slowing down. They also go over to a guy for weather. I don't know if anyone's heard this. I've heard the commentary team a couple of times, and it reminds me so much of Family Guy, where they go "What's the weather like, Ollie? It's raining. Thank you, Ollie." And they they literally do the same thing, where they go "What's it looking like on the ground, John?" And he goes, "Well, it's pretty tricky down here. Cheers, John." They just move on. It's why did they cut to this guy who just implements it? I don't know why they added that in. Works on the Steam Deck as well. Anyone that's got Steam Deck? I actually didn't know whether it would work on Steam Deck or not. Great to see so many teams. As many people said, the ruck is poorly done. The best rucking mechanic was by far Rugby 2011. I would agree with that. You copy that completely and it would work. The buttons are unresponsive. We've already seen people talk about that. Passing's really poor. Yep. Tackling doesn't feel great. Yep. Scoring a try doesn't feel good. It feels kind of clunky when you just put the ball down. Yeah, I've not showcased it too much today because I've specifically been scoring a try leading up to the try line and the players dive. When you get over the try line, you just stop where you are and you put the ball down, and it's really clunky. And I don't really know why they just don't have you dive all the time, or like Rugby 22, choose a different button, you do a different try celebration or what have you. The buttons aren't intuitive. Yes, I agree with this. Pressing A shouldn't change player. Yes, I fully agree with this. Almost every other sports game would be LT. I've got a weird thing when we're playing this game that I also want to press either LT or LB. For some reason, my finger really wants to hit LB to change player. I don't know why. I don't know if I've maybe carried that over from like Rugby 2011 or Rugby 08. I can't think what they are off the top of my head. But yeah, absolutely. Changing player with A is bizarre. Not to mention the B in the rucks. Adding a player into a ruck is B, but also like a box kick sort of action is also B. So you can be spamming B to add people to the ruck, and then randomly your guy will just pick up the ball and kick it 2 yards to the other team because you press B too many times. Like, separate those buttons out. And I've already mentioned about the kicking. You know, the X is both an up and under and a kick for range. They are two totally different things. You know, the control system really needs to be looked at because it's not particularly great. Can't make any amendments to your team selection before during the match. Yep, absolutely. Players out of position. Wrong name appears for the different teams, for different players. Wrong name appears for the different players. I assume that by that they mean like the number 15, number 12, and what have you. Needs a tutorial. You know, so we are seeing similar views around. Oh god, here's Shep. Shep, what's Shep gonna say? Whenever Shep's involved, you know there's gonna be some fun stuff again. Hi, it's me again. I'm sorry in advance, Valhalla, coming in there. Consistent walkthrough. Who's not consistent walkthrough? Is this real consistent walkthroughs or is this fake consistent walkthroughs? Who he made a video about where he said it wasn't me after he had a massive spat with bears. I don't know. Big Shep. Coming in again. Hits need to be more impact. Play more to the factor. Pre-game presentations. Madden. Cutscenes of players arriving to the games, getting warmed up and stuff. That's a very nice response from Shep. That might be the nicest response I've seen from Shep. Shep's pretty outspoken when it comes to things he doesn't like in rugby games. So that seems like a decent piece of feedback as well. But it seems like, you know, it's interesting how many people have got the same things. Passing is off. Tackling is off. Offensive players without the ball don't put themselves in a position to receive a pass. Yep. Same 3 tackling animations. Yep. Well, I'm glad that it's been pretty across the board. A lot of people are saying the same things and seeing the same issues. Because it needs work. The fact that this is day 1 and already there's quite a lot of issues with it isn't necessarily the greatest by any means. My voice is in. I'm probably gonna end the stream at like 9, so we've got like half hour left. Is there any games people actually want to see? Should we actually try one of those competitions? I haven't actually tried it out. Should we like start one up just to see how it gets on and works? I don't know who I want to play as, because so far the best game I've had has been Chile. That was the most fun game for me. Let's do it. Chad agrees that would be a fun way to do it. Let me go over here, change this again, because I know I've got that wrong. Of course I do. Black screen, there we are. Waiting for that to come on. Let's check out to play one team in every game and just see if you can win. I thought it would be more like you would select a team. It would be like, oh, I picked random teams. And it goes, here's the 10 teams. And you go, I want to play as that team. This is a different animation. I've not seen this animation before. Where is the other team? I'm not insane, right? Only one team ran on then. Oh, here we go. Now here come the boys. Here we go. Okay. So they've got different animations for coming onto the pitch for a tournament. That's fun. I like that. I like that they've got some other stuff going on. Awful for me trying to do like thumbnails and stuff, because there's no way I could make that incorporate into a thumbnail well. K-Dog said the graphics look better when it's overcast. Yeah, this is... There isn't really a weather system. It's like day or night. It's like basically all you can play on. Oh, I forgot I have to let go. I really want to get this to land correctly. That kickoff camera really needs to be looked at. That's actually a big pet peeve of mine. That you kick off the ball, but it forces you to be behind the kicker when you kick off the ball, and then everything stops as the camera then faces and you wait for their player to catch the ball. I think that's definitely something they need to look at here. Okay, here we go. That's a decent clearance kick. Pretty happy with that. Puts us back out into the halfway line. There is something weird about that the lower ranking teams have they also seem to go for Y a lot more in those lineups, but the lower ranking teams seem to kick the ball a lot more, which genuinely makes it more fun because they don't get so wrapped up in going from ruck to ruck to ruck. How do you punt like that? I couldn't get it to work. It's holding down the X button, Duncan, which feels like a very weird button to do. You have to hold it down and you have this sort of circle that appears and you kick the ball somewhere into the circle. It's kind of hard to pull off because the AI rushes you so quickly, and if the AI actually gets within your vicinity, the kick kind of fails. It's not so much that it gets charged down. I haven't really seen an animation for charge down. It's more that your guy just sort of kicks it like 3 feet as opposed to kicking it, 100 feet. So it's, again, something that can be worked on. I would like to see, rather than the players rush up, they actually go into... Now, something I don't know how to do is how to do an up and under like that. That was a really good up and under. It had good height, it had good distance. But if I hold down X for that long, I can't do it. Oh, we've had the glitch, so I can't do anything. We wait for the scrum. I hate that glitch. Is awful. And it happens consistently. I feel like that's something that they should have fixed before early access. That's an issue. That to me is it would be up there with one of those game breaking level things that stops the game from being played. Because you can be on an attacking line and everything's fine, and then for some reason the game just goes, nope, now you can't. Oh, he's teleporting. Shut down Nightcrawler here from the X-Men. But that is an issue they should have fixed. That should just be a negative, right? That should not be in there. It's happened every single game, and it's happened in other people's games, and I watched Sammy playing, and it happened in all of his games too. That is something that happens in every single game, and is very easy for them probably to have picked up on. And that is a sort of bug that shouldn't be included in the release and should have been fixed beforehand. You can chip the ball with a tap of X, I'm sure. Yes, so Duncan, the X button does two things. It is both an up and under, which typically you'd want to hold down for a while and do a really big high kick and chase quite short, or, like you say, do a little chip over the top. But in this game, it also does long-range kicking, like that. An unbelievable 50-22. But the button does the same thing. And you don't get to choose which one you're doing. If you hold it down for longer, it just turns into a punt, which is just a really quite poor mechanic from the... Oh, not mechanic, but like a poor setup on the controller standpoint. So, yeah, it's something I have complained about. Because it is annoying. It needs to be A again. Yes, it absolutely doesn't need to be A again. And everyone is in agreement. It needs to be A again. I have no idea. I can't even understand why you would make it the same thing. They've obviously tried to come up with the idea of just having a dedicated kick button that you would use situationally. But the style of kick is so different. It's a totally different thing. The time you want to use an up and under compared to when you want to hammer the ball downfield is such a different, style of play. The idea that one button does two things for the same action is so dumb. Like that again. Oh, we actually stole a ruck. Again, we didn't steal a ruck. A guy just ran in and picked up the ball. Well, we're going this way apparently. They wanted to go left, pressed the left bumper, but we didn't go left. Oh, we've had this glitch again. Oh no, we got it out somehow, even though I absolutely had no control over that.
Moving the ball around and making a good few meters.
No, and again. And this is a game-breaking issue. This is an awful bug that needs to be fixed. Is it a glitch or an intended ball becoming unplayable? It looks like something. Yeah, I did consider that. I considered it was that, but it happens when you do. It's to do with you pressing pass. So if you press pass before your scrum half gets to the ruck, you will have that happen. So it's to do with your action. So it's obviously an input glitch from you doing something that the game didn't want you to do at that point, and therefore it just... What a great sidestep. Here we go. He's away. 13 on the charge. It's specifically a player-based input thing that is breaking the game, therefore it has to be a glitch, not an unplayable ball. If it is meant to be the ball is unplayable for whatever reason in the ruck, the animation isn't good enough to symbolize that's what's happened. And there's also no reason for it, because it's not like the player got held up and it was a maul and it collapsed. There's a genuine tackle. The player goes down, people ruck over him, he puts the ball back, the ball is at the back of the ruck, and then nothing happens. Like, the animation doesn't fit the situation. I can only believe it is an actual glitch that comes from you pressing pass too early when your scrum half isn't ready to pass the ball. And what it does is actually swap who you are playing as away from the scrum half, and it puts you as like the outside centre. And then technically you don't control the ruck, and you have to try and swap back to being the scrum half to make the pass happen. And most of the time you don't get back there. And you can see it with the red. Oh, I thought we nearly made that through. So I'll see if I can get it to do it. So, like, no one's in the ruck now because I pressed pass too early. I pressed pass too early on purpose now. Nobody's in the ruck. The whole game has gone, we don't know what to do. This is the best showcase of exactly what I was just saying. I pressed pass too early and the whole game is broken because it was like, you don't have a scrum half there, you can't pass. And in fact, it's gone beyond because we can't even get the ball out and the referee is not saying use it. That was the best timing for exactly what I was talking about ever. And what do we do now? What do we do now? What if I... Hang on. What if I... no. Can I not be playing and see if the AI can fix it? Can the AI fix it? I can't believe that happened exactly as I was trying to purposefully showcase it, and it did it to the highest extreme I've ever had it happen. What's this guy doing? This guy's warming up. He's just stretching his arms. People are like cricking their necks. They're just bored. They've just had enough of this. I think this is actually the first time I've seen the game do this. In all the time I've played it so far, this is the first time I've just seen it stop. I thought half-time might end it. No. Can I go back to being... This is so weird that you can just swap sides in like a tournament like this. Like, I'm now the other team. Can I run in and pick up the ball? Come on, boys. Get in there. Pick it up. Pick it up. So basically, you could just let the AI beat you, like 50-0, and then just at the end of the game, swap sides. Nope, we're just gone. We're dead in the water. We're dead in the water. Exit the game. Let's see what happens if you exit out of a game. Does it forfeit the match? No. Nothing happens. You just play again. Okay. Well, then we'll play again. This is going to end up being our final game, apparently, because we've got to do that, but there we go. Why don't they make rucking mechanics like in Rugby World Cup 2011? The rucks are desperately slow. Kills any immersion. Absolutely, James. For me, rucking in Rugby 2011 is the best rucking has been. I love the rucking mechanic in Rugby 2011. It's hard, it's tough when you play as a lower ranking team. It gives you a big advantage when you're playing as a higher rated team. You had the ability to just steal the ball with an X if someone was isolated. You had to tap A enough to steal it, but too much and it penalized. It was that for me was just perfect. That's the thing that should be whatever it is for most games. But also, if you could change the depth of your positioning. Yeah, again, I feel like that's what they must be ready to implement. It's very weird you can't drop anyone in the pocket or change your depth. Again, it's such a basic thing in rugby. Will there be any licensed tournaments? I believe so, Carlo. They got the Six Nations. They've got the World Cup. They're going to have MLR. They're going to have. They've got a lot of stuff. URC, just not in early access, or not yet in early access. Of course, day one, still day one. We don't know what they're going to implement by the end of early access, but when it gets around to the official release, there will be plenty of licensed tournaments in there. I think if you double tap the try score button, the player dives. Hey, we'll give it a go if we ever get back over the try line. I'm hoping they add national anthems for international games and a haka for specific teams. Yeah, it would be nice if they did that, even if it's not, the full anthem. I'm not sure what copyright is around anthem music, but little snippets, maybe even if it's not the actual anthem, just no words, maybe just general noise that is clearly meant to represent the anthem itself, I think would be great. The haka, like I said about the Rugby 08 game, the England-New Zealand game that I did, and the haka happened in that game, took me completely by surprise, and I was so happy to see that in there. It would be really cool to have stuff like that. I'm going to mispronounce it probably. Is it the Kibi or the Chibi the Fiji team do? Where the ow, ow, wow, and they all jump in the air. I love that. Get that in. I want to do that as Fiji. I love Fiji, man. They're a great team. Oh. That's a decent clearance from them. I like that. Weirdly, it feels like the AI plays better on easy. Like, it feels more realistic. On medium, they're so desperate to hold on to the ball, they don't really do anything. Oh, throw to middle is X. I have always pressed B since playing this game. Why is it X? It feels like a weird... Isn't it... Hang on. Whoa, hang on. It isn't. It isn't X. In their own thing, they say it's not X, right? Hang on. Line out. B. Throw to middle is B. Their own control system says it's B. Why is it X in game? X is for a maul. It's not even correct. Oh, man. You have convinced me that it is most certainly a bug. Yes, I'm glad I got that point across. It is absolutely a bug, and a terrible bug that needs to be sorted. If they can come back and say that is an in-game mechanic designed to represent that a ball has been lost in the action, I will refute that immensely and say you're trying to cover up. There's a massive bug. Oh, come on! Where's my player? Oh, no, missed that tackle. Come on, Uruguay, get it together. The lack of offloads, etc. Yeah, again, it's in the control scheme, to pass and do offloads. It's absolutely there. It's in the game. But it just isn't in the game. Oh, can we try and get through there? Maybe the number 10 on the slicing line here as he runs across. Going around everyone. Can he outrun the number 8? He's getting closed down. Can he get all the way to the corner? Going to go for the little show and go. The step inside. And gets down for the try. Great run by the Uruguay number 10. Don't actually know who the Uruguay number 10 is off the top of my head. Slightly outside my world of international rugby knowledge. I know people constantly say just reskin Rugby 08, but Rugby 2011 was made by... Rugby 2011 was made by Big Ant. Was it? I have no idea. Is that true, James? If Rugby 2011 was made by Big Ant, the fact that they wouldn't just do that is insane to me. There's no way. Oh, it wasn't responding. I pressed Y about 4 times. I think that's the first kick I've actually missed on purpose, or not on purpose. I pressed Y about 4 times and nothing happened, and then it randomly jolted a kick out into the middle of nowhere. Screw you, game. Well, yeah, if Rugby 2011 was done by Big Ant Studios, I'd be surprised if it was, but if that is true, man, like, they should have far more to work with as a skeleton going into this than trying to need to create a game from scratch, if that is the case. I just feel like my camera angles got slightly lower than when I started. Oh, I've done it again. Use it, says the ref, as the ball is quite clearly there. No. Cobra says this looks bad. Cobra's not enjoying the new rugby game. I think full access to this game in like 3 to 6 months. I would be very surprised if they get this up to a full release standard in 3 months. If they do, fantastic work by them. I think there's a lot of things to fix. Now, where am I going? It down? Yes. But I think they've got a lot of things to fix. And I actually don't want to fix it like quickly and be done with it. Oh my god, it's done it again. So can you see how my red arrow is now on someone else? It's not on my scrum half. So that is the issue. It switches you out of the ruck and you no longer control the ruck. You cannot play the ball. You start playing as players completely in the backfield, and how often have we seen it in the last game and a half? It happens in every game. This absolutely should have been spotted by like a quality assurance team playing this game who said this is a huge issue for the momentum of a game to lose that. Like, can we not steal that? No, can't do anything there. How about now? I'm trying to work out if I can put a player behind where the ruck is going to form, like in between their players and the ruck, to see if it can actually move them off the ruck. To see if I can then steal the ball. That's another good kick. I haven't had a back catch a single kick since I've been playing this game either. Go on. Good bounce. There we go. That's what we wanted. I'm getting better at the kicking. I still think there needs to be a trajectory. Yeah, 3 to 6 months though, I wouldn't be surprised. The fact that they've now renamed the... I can't believe it's now middle. Middle is now X is wild to me. The fact they've changed the name to Rugby 2015 to just 2020, I can't even say it. I'm too tired. They've changed the name to Rugby 25, suggests to me this game is not coming out till 2025. That's a decent 15-22. We'll take that.
Contesting this line out.
Rugby 2011 was made by HB Studios. They also made Rugby 2015. They were also the developments for Rugby 06 and Rugby 08. Also, Big Ad Studios weren't involved with it. I kind of want to check that. Oh, they actually got that call right at the lineup then, and I still won that. That's interesting. Oh, who am I now? Now I'm a prop out here. My God, this is such a continuous issue.
This should be a big
HB Studios, yeah, more baffling then. Yeah, I would have been surprised if Big Ant had made Rugby 2011 and I had like known that off the bat. I would have been hyped for this game, like there was no tomorrow. Okay, we got the steal. I don't know what it means by early there. Like I'm clearly not early. Oh, we're stuck in the mall. Well, there we go. We've just come off of this issue, and it's done it again. Is it getting worse? Is the game trying to stop me from playing it? Is it saying, no, Mad Dragon, stop trying to have fun. How dare you just play the mechanics we've given you in the game? Another, like, why is this too early? I'm quite clearly getting this in the green bar, and it just says no. From with the number 8, we're going to go around the outside. Let's get under. What? 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 Why is that even a possibility? How? I wanted to test whether different buttons would do different try animations. He is clearly over the try line when I started this. Right? I am over the try line there. I'm still in a running animation. And then I pressed X to dot the ball down. And he just boots it. Straight into touch. I'm so glad the referee is right there to watch it. I'm so glad he was like, oh, I better get a good view of this. I better watch Mad Dragon mess this up in the stupidest way. Oh, mate. What is this game? Oh. I'll wait for this ball to land. Are we winning yet? Oh, we are winning. We're only one try up. It's not where I wanted it to be. I don't feel very comfortable at the minute. Are we only 30 minutes into this game? Why? This game feels like it's going on forever. I know we've restarted the game. Oh, my God. It's done it again. Have Uruguay got their own issue, maybe, in the ruck? Specifically Uruguay, where this is a more frequent issue, where they just can't get the ball out. That was an obvious play for the try zone, Andrew. Yep, that was That's how I drew it up. It's how Uruguay roll, you know? We just get over the try line and boot it in touch. In fact, I'm so confident in my abilities, sometimes I just give up a try. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm too damn good at this game already that it's not fair and I deserve to give them back a try. Oh, number 8. On the charge. Let's press A this time.
Wonderful try.
I can't believe he kicked that ball out, man. Off the music goes. I do like the music. I like the music. I like the sort of... It's quite... I don't know how to describe it. It's quite like... It reminds me of like a sort of Spanish... Like tune. I really like it. Yes, I think that's great. Genuinely, I think the best positives I can give this game, the absolutely best positive, whoever is involved in the audio team over at Big Ann has absolutely nailed it. The songs in their menu system are great. The music that comes on between the tries is really like it gets me into it. I think whoever's worked with like the commentary team, I think the commentary's done very well. It's just not quite implemented in the right place. I think the highest props I give this game go to the audio team. I think it's great. I also love it. In fact, it might be too far away now. I wonder if we can get back for the try. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Oh, is it not going to do it on this one? Oh, it didn't quite do the thing. I have done it on a couple of them where you go through on the replay camera and it's completely silent, but when they score a try, it goes bloom. Because there's like a sound that goes with them scoring a try, and I find that funny. Like it's not particularly great. I just find it very funny. Definitely would have kicked in real life. Absolutely would have kicked that one in real life. Have we got another scrum? I don't even remember what I did. I don't even know anymore. Is there Super Rugby teams in this game? There will be. I actually did that late. I don't know what that first action does, where you do the crouch. I don't know what happens, because if you don't engage with it, you still win anyway. Oh, here we go. Here we go. A little chip over the top here from number 8. Oh, breaking through the line. No, he's not going to get there. I really want to try and get a drop goal. Do you think... What is drop goal? Why? Oh, I've lost it again. This is a big issue. This is a huge issue. To have this ball just disappear into the ruck. Yeah, Super Rugby not in it at the minute, but they have absolutely confirmed Super Rugby will be in it on release. They've got all the teams licensed. The only one I've not seen, which I remember when Ross was... Oh, I did that wrong. When Ross was doing all the face scans, they were doing all the photogrammetry stuff, and I was keeping an eye on all the teams doing. I genuinely forgot who they had and hadn't done. One of the last ones he did, I think was the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs was like one of the last ones that he did. And I genuinely don't remember them ever going to the Crusaders. I have no memory of that happening. And I did a guess, because I had already got a free code from that sort of competition thing for this game. I was thinking if I could win another code, I could give one away on stream. I thought that'd be really fun. So I kept entering the competitions, never got any more right. But at one point I was like, I feel like they've done all of the Super Rugby teams except for the Crusaders. And then the last one he did was like the Chiefs. And then they put out like, that's it, Super Rugby's complete. And I don't ever remember them doing the Crusaders. I even looked back through Ross's Twitter to see, and I couldn't find anything to do with the Crusaders. So I'm hoping the Crusaders are in. Or unless they just have some sort of created team and they didn't necessarily get the license to them. A decent little kick. We'll take this one down. Pop that one into touch. Let's have half-time. In Rugby League Live, you double tap the button and the player dives. I actually just did it then, Carl. The try that I did score, not the one I kicked out, I actually did a double tap of A and nothing happened. He just put the ball down normally, so that isn't a thing. The dumbing and manipulating the defense by running sideways and then straightening is a little OP. It is the only way to make meters in this game. It is awful. I like the fact that you can do it, and I think it's really important. I would think you'd really struggle to make meters without having the ability to run around, because at the minute being able to choose your passing line and choosing a player on a good line to break through the defensive line is not viable. It's basically the only option you have at the minute. When you play on the hardest difficulty, you actually lose a lot of the functionality to get around players by doing this sort of sideways technique. Oh, that was it. Oh, cheers for that pass. Okay, we're down. Right, let's do a box kick. Not the greatest box kick I've ever seen. This glitch is driving everyone crazy. It is. Again, this should be this is something that unfortunately This is an actual, like, negative, you know, whether, you know, you say, oh, this thing isn't great, I wish this thing was better, what have you. That is a genuine active criticism. That should have been picked up by a testing team before that ever got to early access. I don't care that it's in early access. That is a regular occurrence that completely destroys the flow of game. I don't even know what an equivalency would be. Imagine playing Call of Duty in early access, but sometimes your gun disappears. It's like, well, great, you know, it's like the main thing. I need that in order for the rest of it to work. Like, that should be fixed before this ever got to, unless they're going to claim that is a mechanic in the game, in which case it's broken. And they should have fixed it before it got out for early access. That is an actual, just outright flaw in the game. As the stream is getting on, I notice I'm getting more critical. I'm sort of getting tired, so I'm going to be more honest about stuff. But you know, stuff like that annoys me. You know, the idea again. I'm very upfront. You know, I was lucky enough to get this game for free because of getting the code from the competition. People have paid £25 for this game, and if people have paid for this game to have that same issue, that for me is not good enough. I don't typically mind that there's going to be things they can fix, and you know, the momentum of players and other things that we've mentioned. They're things that can be fixed. That is something that should not have even been allowed to be included in early access. That should have been picked up. That's a good kick again. I've been. Can I not call the mark? You automatically call the mark. I kind of just wanted to kick that back out. Let's go for a tap. Let's go wild. Here we go. Bang. Try and hit this gap. And does! What a great run. I can't believe that actually paid off. Opinion on South Africa having an 86 rating. I did. Oh, I've lost it again. There's a real issue. It might be with the Uruguay team. I don't know. Or maybe if Romania's ruck is just so powerful. They can't do anything. Yeah, I did mention it before. France, South Africa, and Scotland all have the same rating, which seems a bit wild. I assumed France would have a high enough rating. You know, it's Nacon. It's you know, French studio. There's a reason they're going to want to have a high rating in the game. But I don't know what rating you'd even taken it from pre or post World Cup, where it would be a case where South Africa would have the same rating as France and Scotland. Maybe they just wanted to have a slightly more balanced game because the teams aren't, you know, real in it anyway. Oh, number 8 having the absolute charge of his life. Still going. What an unbelievable try. Let's try B this time. B makes him punch the ball into the ground. Interesting. So X is kick. A is dot down. B is slam it like the Hulk into the ground and break your own fingers. But yeah, I assume it's for a balancing issue is why they've done it all as the same rating, but South Africa should absolutely be rated higher than 86. Crusaders were done, I think. I guess they must have been, Alex. I guess they must have been done. I just could not find any evidence they'd done it. It might be one they did more silently in the background and just didn't put it on Twitter, and I never saw it. Or maybe it was one of the first. They did say they captured a lot of the New Zealand stuff before the World Cup. And they've actually had to go back and redo some because of all the team shifts. Maybe the Crusaders is such a complete team from back then, they didn't need to redo them compared to everyone else. So maybe it was already done. I hope the counties, Manuku Steelers are in the game. I have no idea, but I hope for your sake they are, so you can be happy about that. Man, my players are slowly getting through that. Okay, so that was interesting. So that time, I noticed my red circle moved to a completely different place. So rather than trying to do anything, I just kept mashing B. And that time I didn't lose the ball. At that point, I wasn't mashing B, and yet my guy did a grubber kick, so I don't know. So maybe you can avoid the glitch, but the next pass you do is going to make him grubber kick. I don't know. 12-1. Oh, that's a bit of a rubbish dive. Oh, it's a bit more of a rubbish dive. What are we? We're 19-0 up. I think we're still okay for now. Do a corner try next time, please. The game is pretty... It's not like I can specifically make that happen, Zanis, but I'll give it a go. There is a TMO in this game. I actually have had a TMO appear from scoring in the try. And they went for a TMO check to see if I'd gone into touch or not. And I love that that is in the game. I wish it was in more sections of the game to make it feel a little bit more engrossing. But I did have a TMO look at the try. It was certainly a very easy try. It didn't need a TMO, but I'm glad that they've got something like that in the game. But it is very hard to make it fours happen.
He passes the ball.
Oh, get in there, boys.
That is perfect technique on a bigger man. Smith gets that ball away quickly. There's some...
That's interesting. The commentators are saying players' names.
Well, that is a bullet pass.
Now, I don't know enough about the Sweden team to know if that's a real player. But that player just picked up the ball and he said Stevens has taken it in. So he actually said a player's name. I wonder if... Is there a Stevens on the Sweden team? Anyone know Swedish rugby to a highest level? Ryan, thank you for subscribing to the channel, mate. But if maybe the names are in the game, but they're just referred to as number 1 through 15, but they've done the work to make the commentators have it all, or maybe it's just a general use name from the commentators. They've been pretty on point with the French names and stuff. They've said all the French names correct for the player of who it was. So maybe that is a thing. It's Kiwi just subscribed. Was that you, Ryan, or was that you? Just it's Kiwi. I can see it's Ryan is the last person I've got on my feed here that says just subscribe. But thank you for subscribing. What do you know about German rugby? Nothing. But I bet German rugby has some monsters because I served plenty of Germans back in the day when I was used to work in hospitality. You guys loved your blonde beers. That's what you used to always order. That was always the thing. Every sort of German used to go in blonde beer, and I don't know what that means. Like an ale, like a golden ale, or like a lager. I never knew what any of it meant, but they always just used to say blonde beer, and all of them were about 6'5". So I imagine the German rugby team is stacked with some pretty hefty dudes. It's kind of like the Netherlands team. I don't think I've ever seen a Netherlands game, but I imagine the Netherlands rugby team are monsters. I bet it's just a 15 of Eben Etzebeths. I bet you got some big old dudes over there. But Germany, I believe, will be in the game. So I will. I would like to play as Germany. I'm really looking forward to Portugal. I'm really looking forward to actually doing a bit of a series of Portugal. If I can get the ball back, I would just like to kick it off. Again, this is the issue. They're down on the board. They're not going to kick now. They've been so good at kicking all game, and it's made the game so much more interesting. Now that the 80th minute is up, they do not want to kick the ball, and I cannot turn the ball over. And so we end up in this weird stalemate where nothing happens because I can't do anything.
Finds the inside man.
There we go. Good kick. Thank you. Thank you to Sweden for seeing us out there. I do love how they have these two commentators. Andrew Cotter is one of my favorite. Genuinely, these are my two favorite commentators from the UK. We've got Jiffy and Andrew Cotter who do most of the commentary for this game. And I really like it because they are the people I look forward to the most when they do commentary in real life. I'm really glad they're there. There is, I don't know, actually, I don't remember seeing it. I have no options to do a replay here. That's weird, isn't it? I can't do a replay or see the highlights of the game. I can only exit. I wonder why that is. We'll simulate Australia, Japan. Japan, take it! Wait, 6 points. What a great game by them. And Hong Kong versus China. Wait, who are they against? It got rid of their name. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Croatia? Yeah, Croatia. They won that one by 12 points. So, round one. Wait, can you just do different rounds? No, you have to do it round by round. Okay, that's good to know. But that's fun. Yeah, I do like him as commentators. I'm glad they've got some different commentators, and I think the commentary is very good. There is also I think he's Australian. There's an Australian commentator whose name I do not know, but he gets really excited when Australia are playing. And I remember watching the Super Rugby, and it was Andrew Callaway had some really good games over one of the Rugby Championship tournaments. And every time he made a break, you've just got this commentator going, Andrew Callaway! And every time I was like, this commentator loves Australia. And I hope they get something like that in. But I didn't actually see anything in here for, like, language, which is interesting. I don't remember ever seeing something like, what language would you like to start the game up in? Because in other games like Rugby 22, when you choose a language, the commentators change. I didn't... Audio... Announcer vocals, player vocals, crowd sounds. I can't see anything to do with changing the thing to see if they've got, French commentators. If you're playing the game over in France, or if you guys have to boom, there you go, wrong screen. Or play the game with English like commentary on. I don't know how it works for, but you know, NACOM French company. I thought they'd have at least French things. And Australia, Big Ben again. I get some Australian commentators in there as well. Play South Africa and see if they have the player names. They don't. We did South Africa versus Argentina. On everything outside of France and Australia is just number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way through to 1 through 15. In fact, that's something I wanted to show, and I completely forgot, and I've forgotten it like 6 times. Just to showcase why people were talking about player ratings and individual players having the same rating. Take a look. This might be a little bit hard to see. I don't know how I can sort of showcase it better for you guys. Take a look at the player's face. Actually, hang on. Let me do... Can I do... Hang on. Let me... I want to try and show you what I mean by this. So just take a look at the actual player's face. Not necessarily the beards or the mustaches or anything they're going to add to it. Just take a look at the facial structure themselves in the body as you swap through, right? It is literally the same player, but Australia and France are going to be different. But everyone else is the same. It's the same guy with a different skin tone and some sort of different facial hair. And I really like that. So that's why they're all just the same. They're all the same player. They've just got different like facial things going on, like facial hair or amount of hair on the head, or their like skin tone, but their actual player is the same, which is why I think that a lot of the player ratings for individual players across all teams is just the same player. Like the person playing at number 8 for South Africa is the same number 8 that plays for like Scotland. It's the same guy. It's just got a different skin tone. He'll probably have all the exact same stats. What do you think of South Africa versus Ireland series next weekend? I think it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for it. I'm really hoping it's a horrendously close game and they both just smash the hell out of each other. I can't wait. As a neutral, it's one of those games I'll thoroughly enjoy sitting down and watching. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't turn into a penalty game. I kind of hope we get to see it a little bit more like it'll be like the New Zealand-Ireland quarterfinal and the South Africa-France quarterfinal. I hope they're more at that level. And just watching these two teams go at it rather than it be like a 6-3 game because they just do penalties. But I think it should be a really fun game. I think the whole of New Zealand woke up to watch you play. I know I did. I was excited to watch the first gameplay of Road 25. Well, thank you very much, Sword. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, New Zealand's not a big sort of analytics side on my channel at all. New Zealand videos typically don't do very well on my channel. So I'm glad if a couple of you guys over in New Zealand are tuning in. I hope they add New Zealand commentary as well, says K-Dog. Absolutely. Do Tonga versus unfortunately, I'm going to be ending the stream now, man. I've been streaming for a good 3 hours. My voice is wrecked. I am wrecked. I also worked the day job today, 9 to 5, and then I was like, bang, straight into stream. Got videos out today as well during my lunch break. There was a lot going on today. I'm pretty knackered. I'm gonna be rounding off in a second. I can't wait for England versus New Zealand series. Yeah, again, I think that'll be a fun one. I've got a feeling that New Zealand are going to do like much better than people expect. I think England are going to think like they're going to be really on top. And then England do turn up against New Zealand. They just sort of do. I've got a feeling like New Zealand might do very well, and it might take people by surprise. I feel like they're not going to mess around with the Steve Borthwick blitz defense. I think New Zealand have enough players that are smart enough to work around it, and it's going to cause more issues for England compared to a team like Japan, who seem to really struggle against getting closed down, later on in that second half like they did. Who had the best match in the Rugby World Cup? Asked Brendan. For me, I think the best match was the New Zealand-Ireland game. I know a lot of people say the South Africa-France game. I'm quite a defensively minded player. If you ever watch me play a lot of the rugby games, I'm all about defense. I've always tried to be about like concede the least amount of points. While scoring well. I think a solid defense is the show of a really good team. And that New Zealand-Ireland game was like two teams for me that just at like a real pinnacle of discipline, lack of penalties. The breakdown was clinical from both sides. Both teams knew if they gave away anything, it was just going to throw away the game. And therefore, I really loved how gritty that game was. I know for a lot of people, it's the South Africa-France game because it was much more open. Try scoring. It was France scored a try, then South Africa scored a try. There's big kicks. It's all over the place. You know, there's a lot more sort of exciting and wild. For me, from a sort of hardcore grit rugby watcher enjoys a lot of the smaller things that a lot of people don't really care about. For me, it was the New Zealand Ireland quarterfinal for me. We'll round it off there, guys, because it's now 9:15. I was going to stop at 9. I played for an extra 15 minutes because the game broke on our first run through of the thing. Interesting to have checked out that championship show to see how that works. I still don't know if I like that system where I like that you can simulate every other game or you could choose to play. But I feel like if you're doing a tournament, you probably want to play as one person because I don't really know what the point of choosing to play as like 8 teams would be. And you just get the teams you want to the quarterfinal. If that's the case, just play a smaller tournament. I don't really understand the point of that. So I like that it's simulated. But thank you to everyone that's come out. I believe the stream's done pretty well. Every time I sort of checked, there was a lot more people watching than we usually have on the stream. So thank you for tuning in, giving your thoughts on Rugby 25, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more to talk about as this game develops. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Brendan. Said enjoy your night, bro, all the way from South Africa. South Africa is a big demographic on the channel, very weirdly. I don't know why, like New Zealand and Australia isn't. South Africa very much is. From those sort of Super Rugby teams, South Africa is the absolute standout. So I'm glad that so many people enjoy watching the channel over from South Africa. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in for today, guys. I'm going to head off. I'm going to go sleep. I'm going to go chill out. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Friday evening or whatever day / time it is from around the world, because I know we have a bit of a worldwide audience. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.